That's right, folks. We are resurrecting the old theme music. The music from days past, back in the old Facebook days. We got a very special show. The year 2023, in retrospect, halfway through the year. How does it feel? 1993 was 30 years ago, folks. Holy shit. What have you been watching? What have you been loving? We got a big group of panelists planned. Might only have half of those people show up. Who knows? We've got the lovely Lord of Toxicity. We've got Blue Collar Loser. We might have Vex Electronica popping in here soon. And maybe some other special surprise guests. But I'm going to go ahead and bring myself in. That's right, your host. I was asked to host this for On Tap Presents, the Critical Drinker page, On Tap streams. It's an honor to host it. You know me, Mr. Stu Penzo, that's me. Yeah, I know. I figured out how to work my computer again. As far as what is everyone going to talk about? Well, I got a couple hints up here. This graphic. I got to tell you, folks, I struggled to think of other good things I saw this year. I saw plenty of good shit this year, but very few of it was from this actual current year. I watched What's Eating Gilbert Grape. It's wonderful. I watched The Slums of Beverly Hills. Fantastic. But as far as what's happening this year, well, we'll get into that in just a second. But first, let me bring in our first guest, the man whose stream this is a brainchild of, Mr. Lord Toxic. Sir, how are you?
Oh, if I was doing any better, I couldn't fucking live with myself.
Awesome.
Amazing. 2023. What a year so far.
Well, I know you asked a few of us to, think about doing this kind of stream, and it came down to it. I was the one who was available to host. So we're going to have some special guests. I'm so glad. Dude, this man popped in right before I went live. Holy shit. Blue.
There he is.
Can you hear me?
Of course.
No,
because Blue.
I'm using the built-in laptop microphone. I wasn't sure if it's just good without I lost my microphone cord. So.
Oh, you sound great. It's okay.
Awesome.
When my built-in laptop mic goes in, it sounds bad, dude. You can hear my fan running and shit. So, hell yeah.
Yeah, I figure I might be muting myself in case I'm at a guest house right now, so I'm not home.
Oh yeah, well I don't hear any background noise or nothing, but obviously feel free to hit that mute button whenever you want.
Yeah.
So did you run over any pedestrians on your way here? Floored your ass up at her? No.
I mean, I was going about 85, so yeah.
Nice. In a bus? No.
Nice.
That's a beautiful part. I've been Ubering, and one customer's like, "Wow, this truck feels so smooth." And with a new vehicle, you can go 90 miles an hour, and it feels like you're going 5 miles an hour because it's so nice.
Toxic. What is an elbow cough?
That's where you put your there you go. Blue collar just did it. You're just like hey, I'm here. So that's my daughter is a hairdresser, and she's at her hairdresser salon. Right. Thank you, honey. She's at her hairdresser salon right now, and she's got her and her friends are listening to us.
Oh, wow.
So she's letting us know she's watching.
Oh, God. So mind your P's and Q's.
No. You can say whatever you want. She's the daughter of the Lord of Toxicity. She is just as toxic.
She knows her father.
Maybe more.
The princess of toxic.
The princess of toxicity.
Well, Tyler, he might not pop in, and neither may Russ. They were busy, it seems, which is fine.
Okay.
We may also have a couple other no-shows. We had two streamers that were going to pop their cherries tonight.
Yep.
Other
got cold feet.
Come up. That could
got
be
cold feet. Got cold feet.
The link's open. We got Vex. She's on her way. She's running late, so we can just shoot the shit for a minute. How's it been, boys?
Chris will probably be able to co-sign on this. This might be the last time me and Chris agree for the rest of the night. But I think it's been a fucking great year for TV and movies so far, man. Yeah. I cannot keep up on all the stuff that I'm watching. Obviously I do more streaming than I do actually go. Yes, honey. I do more streaming as opposed to going to the theater. But I've been just like nonstop. It's like one show. I haven't had to go through that withdrawal of running out of shows to watch. It's just been fucking great. So nice. I've been really happy.
Well, I did a lot of drugs the past couple weeks.
Nice.
Nice. I gotta say, I definitely like I said, I think it was this past Thursday. I was like, look, like a week from today, I was like looking at my list of all the things I had seen this year. And I was like, there's no way Cocaine Bear's the second best thing I've seen this year. There's no fucking way. Like, it was okay. So I definitely had to like watch a bunch of shit and try to like get some good replacements on that list. And I did improve my list a bit. But also, yeah, I've just been super busy with the karaoke. I'm foregoing karaoke tonight so I could host this. And funny because there's a karaoke contest going on, and the guy who runs it, Ken, he wants me to enter that contest so bad. And I'm like, Ken, I mean, dude, first of all, I don't think I can make the finals on June 8th, FYI. So even if I go in the next 3 weeks and make it, I don't think I can go to the actual contest on June 8th. I'll be busy. And then this is the best part. Let me tell you guys some funny shit. I understand the economy's tight right now. So, it's a small town. It's a small bar. They never had a karaoke contest, but they're doing this thing. It's like an American Idol type karaoke contest. And the winner gets, are you ready for this? You get $300, but you get the $300 after you perform a 1-hour show on October 20th.
Holy shit.
You got to perform you got to do your prize is you get a paid gig. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, that's not great. But wait, there's more. Second place, you know what second place gets? They get an unpaid gig to open for the winner for 15 minutes.
My God.
On October 20th. Make sure you got that clear on your calendar. Otherwise, you don't win the money. And then on third prize, you get to work the crowd on October 20th at an unpaid gig. It's like, those are terrible prizes. Like, Ken, if you want me to sing for an hour, just ask me, bro. Like, you don't need to put on a fake karaoke contest just so you can, like, convince me, Secondly, like, most people, like, let's say you win the karaoke contest. You do the training. You sing a bunch, you win the gold, and now they're like, okay, now time for the real contest, the real performance. 4 months from now, it's like, dude, I already did all the training. Like, imagine if Rocky, beats Apollo Creed at the end, and it's like, great, now you get to fight the main bad guy,
Drago.
Like, Jesus Christ, I thought that was the thing. I thought I already did it. Ugh. So that's what's going on today for me. Anybody else?
I did karaoke last night. It's been about 3 weeks of my new work schedule. My sister's friend's a bartender. She's like, hey, Chris, do you want a Long Island iced tea? Sure. Her Long Island iced tea tastes like Long Island plus New Jersey plus New York. This woman, like, she's like, first thing, hey, how about a Jack and some cherry Coke? No, there's about 3 drops of Coke and fucking 99.9% fucking Jack. After one drink, I'm just like, I'm just like, holy shit.
So what'd you end up singing?
Def Leppard, which I poured some sugar on me. Check my Facebook, and people liked it. And I started off with Oasis, but
I will.
As you were saying, Enzo, man, I was telling the guy Danny, he does cover bands too. I was like, dude, there is a reason people can say what they want about rockers, but after singing just one song, I'm like, I need a fucking 5-minute break. These fuckers are on stage for an hour and a half. I'm like, they get paid millions of dollars. There is a reason. That shit is fucking hard, man. Like,
yeah.
I
always joked about Motley Crue. Like, those songs are not hard to play, but if I drank a whole bottle of Jack Daniels and did heroin and cocaine, those songs are very hard. And I don't know how those fuckers did that shit every night for months. You're like traveling, like,
Here's my range. I go from Oasis to Def Leppard, then to Fall Out Boy, then to NSYNC. So I'm all over the fucking place.
Wow.
Oh man, I'll sing. I'm approaching 1,000 songs now. Like, once I got to 700, I kind of chilled, but I was trying to do like 10 new songs every week.
Yeah.
And like now I'm kind of taking my time, especially because this new venue down the street will play like anything off of YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm gonna hit 1,000 now soon. I think I'm gonna go tomorrow and I'm gonna do some like Rufus Wainwright and some Always, like, new bands and shit.
I coincidentally have karaoke at the bar I used to work at tomorrow night, and I happen to be off tomorrow, so I will definitely be doing that. My top 3 songs, coincidentally.
Wish I can come see it.
They are La Bamba by Los Lobos, Scotty Doesn't Know by Lustra, and of course, Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Hell yeah.
Classic.
So yeah, this is a good top 3. My top 3 songs, Like if I was doing like contest shit, like if I was trying to just like, sing my balls off, or if I was just wanting to sing what I wanted, those are different things. But my top 3, assuming it's available at a karaoke bar, standard karaoke shit, like pretty much Queen. And I definitely like Somebody to Love. But I do like I Was Born to Love You. And also, I don't know. It's so hard to pick. ZZ Top with the kazoo for the guitar solo. That shit always rocks. And I'm so happy we have Vex Electronica here. Hey, Vex,
Hell
how
yes.
you doing?
Hell yes.
Oh, do we?
Tired of the sausage party?
Something happened.
She can class the joint up.
I mean, that's a low bar to set, but
That is a low bar to set, but
Is
at least
anybody else seeing her? Is that
I see her tab there.
it's a black
black
screen.
square? Huh. It was. Let's see.
It's all black.
Let's see. Is it working? Wait, hang on.
Blue collar showing his racist bullshit.
Wait.
Right. I'm glad
Vex,
picked
can you
up
hear
on
us,
it.
dear? Something's happened. Okay. Well,
She's on the dark side of the moon right now.
Oh, she's waiting for her internet to stabilize. No worries.
No worries.
Do we is that a new thing that we have to do nowadays? Wait for internet to stabilize?
It depends on where you are and what kind of provider you have. I
Yeah,
have a
I
really
see.
good provider out here in the Midwest, so they're like the monopoly. But when they start having multiple towers doing different stuff, I've noticed. So like where I used to live here in Kansas, AT&T would go up against Midco, and it would be a problem. But now that it's all like almost all Midco in my area, I don't really have a problem. Like, well, you've seen the couple streams where my roommate's playing, Dungeons and Dragons on her computer or whatever, and that creates a bit of a problem. So
What's up, Vex? Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wow.
Hi.
You sound fantastic.
Yes, she does.
Sorry, my internet has been on the fritz the last like 2-3 days because I live
Yeah.
out in bumfuck nowhere.
Let's not talk about that. I want to. It's nice to meet you. My God, I feel like I
Yes.
should have met you months ago.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you guys as well. Thank you for having me on. I'll
course.
once my internet stabilizes, I'll turn the camera on, but I'm
No
all ready
worries.
to turn that on.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Hey, I caught that stream that you did with our other mod guy, Dark Hour, and I thought you were
Yes.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
You had me
Thank you.
laughing through the whole thing. I was like, who is this?
We
She
were-
is like a female version of me. Let's get her toxic ass on here.
Right.
ASAP.
I had known about you because with Dark Hour we were doing that Boogie Night stream, and he had mentioned you had expressed some interest in that, and I was like, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good stream.
We would have gone. Yeah, I mean, Dark Hour had this like firm 2.5 hour limit, and I was like, man, I could talk for like 5 hours about
Yeah.
Boogie Nights for real. Like
Dark
So we-
Hour. Dark Hour on his streams is like that friend that you have that had really strict parents in high school, and he had a curfew. He's like, "We have to be done by 11.
my cousin,
We will be done by 11."
my cousin who I do the We Watch movies with, he says the same stuff. Like a stream over 2 hours, there's no point. Nobody watches that. I'm like, bro, I watch fucking 6 hour streams all the time. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, like I think Geeks and Gamers and like Nerderotics is a very much
Yeah.
proof that people are willing to sit through enough like 5-6 hours as long as it's
Yeah.
entertaining, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you, I mean, my whole story was I got into the Comicsgate train early on in like 2016. And yeah, just like listening to Ethan Van Sciver and, all those like Comicsgate streams and the Jack Show. And from Ethan Van Sciver got into the High Council, and The Last Jedi came out. And that's when everyone started, you finding all these other streamers like Mauler and everyone ragging on The Last Jedi for hours. It's like, if you, Critical Drinker and all these guys.
there was like a huge boom in just YouTubers. I remember during that time. I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I haven't even seen The Last Jedi, but I remember that the timing lined up, and that's when I discovered a lot of those YouTubers as well.
yeah.
same.
I've said it before that The Last Jedi was so bad it fractured the space-time continuum, because
Yeah.
I would not be doing this right now if The Last Jedi was awesome. You know what I mean? I
Mhm,
wouldn't have watched a
mhm.
9-hour Mauler video about The Last Jedi if it was good. You know?
Gee, 9 hours?
The Mauler, there's 3 of them, and they're
And
each
there's
like
3,
3
yeah,
hours.
yeah.
You know,
My God.
Yeah,
that's why they call him the
So-
Long Man. You know,
the long man. He can.
Oh boy.
Boy, he can talk. He
yeah.
can talk.
Our boy Russ has been getting on the streams with the Long Man and the Drinker and Little Platoon and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yep, super famous.
I had to host. So what's your story, Vix? Like, how'd you get into this whole culture war armchair YouTube critic thing?
I mean, to be honest, I'd followed it for a while already, and then when it comes to like actual content creation, I was actually a Twitch streamer for like a year.
Uh-huh.
Because like, lockdowns happened and all that stuff, and I wasn't like work shut down for like 3 months, and then there was a period of like 9 months where I was just working 8 to 10 hours a week. So, I was just like I was like I play games, I might as well just stream them.
What games were you
So
streaming?
I think the last thing I streamed was it was either Red Dead Redemption or
Nice,
Devil May Cry.
nice,
I did a Devil May Cry replay on
nice.
Twitch as well. Oh no, I did it. No, I think the last one was a Halo 2 stream. Because I wanted to replay that, and that ended up being an 8-hour stream right there. I didn't mean to.
So you were just playing all around all the top A games kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll just play whatever comes to mind.
Sweet.
To be honest,
I
like
knew
I'll just.
I
Yeah.
had a friend, a roommate who was streaming Twitch all the time, but she only played like The Sims. She had people watch her all the time too. It was crazy.
Women love The Sims. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. Like, I don't like The Sims. I never got into it.
one of-
But yeah, I started there, and then work picked back up, so I stopped the streaming thing, and I started just doing like a weekly gaming news podcast with a friend that I had met through Twitch. I'm no longer doing that podcast, but around that time, in actually exactly December 30th of last year, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make a YouTube video and see what happens.
And what
So,
happened?
Well, apparently people liked watching me, so I just kept making content.
Nice. So you had success right out the gate, kind of thing. How long did it take to get you? By the way, milestone. You went to 1,000 subscribers
1,000
yesterday.
subscribers yesterday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What a-
Less than 6 months.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
job. Hell yeah.
I've been putting a lot of time into this. There was a period where I was like on 6 streams a week for like 3 consecutive weeks.
Oh.
So after work I get home and I literally like hop into streams immediately. So like I think I owe a lot of my growth just to that, is I was literally just marketing myself, showing up in all these
Yeah.
places. So
Well,
but
that's how you do it. Making the
right,
rounds.
that's how you do it, right? And then in between I've just been trying to find the time to make videos. I think I got lucky too, because there were a few of my videos like early on that hit the algorithm pretty strongly, thanks to just it was a hot topic at the time, right? And I guess
Yeah.
having a woman talk about those things is not common. So that definitely helped me out a lot, and then I guess I'm still trying to find my groove a little bit, that's all.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah, it just
Definitely
takes
dig
time.
your dig your videos.
Thank you.
If you guys get a chance, check out her video on the Marvels. That shit had me laughing from the moment that I turned it on till the very end. Boy, she really rips that trailer a new asshole. That was stunning. That was stunning. But then gives like a left-handed comment at the end. She's like, "Well, I'll say one good thing. Brie Larson's tits look amazing," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I."
They did.
They did look good.
She definitely
Credit
had 'em
where
done,
credit's
though,
due.
You know, like as soon as the top comes off, they stay like right where they were. You know, like she definitely had them enhanced. No, nothing wrong with that. But
Well, that was like one of the talking points after that trailer came out, right? It's like because everyone noticed how her tits were looking in it, and then she's like, "Oh well, it's all thanks to the sports bra guys. You should like check it out." I'm just like,
Just
"Dumb
take
bitch,
the
shut up. Let's
compliment, Brie.
admire it. Just leave
Yeah.
it be.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to tell us."
yeah, someone definitely like slapped her around a little because like she was like being real vocal and bitchy, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, she's being very like quiet and dainty and showing off the girls and just being all sexy and stuff. And all of a sudden, I liked her again.
That's cool. Like here's the thumbnail right there of Brie. Sorry.
I liked her in Room. She showed up in Room, and I remember her from Scott Pilgrim, and
Scott Pilgrim. Oh.
and then the Captain Marvel movie happened, and you just noticed the thing.
The
I know it's fine.
personality really came out. There you go.
I
She's
just
good
saw
in
it.
Free
West
Fire. Did you see
County,
that
but
one?
I just
Free
saw
Fire's
that.
really good. Yeah, Free Fire's good.
She was the daughter in United States of Terra. I don't know if you guys have heard of that show
I
way
didn't know
back
that.
when on
I
HBO.
didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how I first was exposed to her. Is I was watching that show every week, and then after that, I think Scott Pilgrim came out around the time she was still doing that show, and I loved those comic books when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So
nice. Well, yeah, with me it was like the similar thing where after the Last Jedi or Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker, me and my friends did like a 5-hour StreamYard thing on Facebook. and just started doing it every Monday. And then the pandemic happened, and everyone was suddenly really interested in these Monday streams where we were just talking about all the crap we were, watching on Netflix and stuff. And then after the pandemic kind of lightened up, it's like people started like tuning out, stopped coming in, and I still wanted to nerd out about movies, man, because I'm like a drummer and graphic designer, illustrator. I work in the music business. All my friends want to talk about Fish and Grateful Dead and shit. And I'm just like, no, I want to talk about the latest season or whatever the fuck.
Yes.
So started doing it on YouTube, and I think this year started really like trying to push it every week, stream every week, every Monday. Which, by the way, if you ever want to come in, you're welcome. And then every Tuesday, me and my cousin will get on Discord and watch a movie and just kind of edit it and release at some point. Copyright infringement not intended. I don't care about monetization or none of that. Just with me, it's more like I just enjoy doing the shit, and I'm kind of just recording it for posterity's sake, And if other people like it, hell yeah, great.
Yeah,
I gotcha. People enjoy a conversation, right? Because
big time.
Yeah.
How did Collar and how did you get into the YouTube game? I've never asked you this.
No, I was a critical drinker because it was for the longest time. I thought like review wise, I felt like I grew up with Roger Ebert, and I always said that Ebert, love him or hate him, the guy, when he criticized something, I didn't have to agree with him, but the way he would say something, I respected it. And then just once time started going by, we all see it that professional critics, we stopped taking them seriously because how many are fucking paid off.
And actually have a, Sorry, I cut out for a second there.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, if I go silent randomly like that, it's because of my internet.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was a problem I was running to. Yeah, because people can't articulate it even though they're aware of it, and no one can have an actual conversation about why this isn't appealing right, or why these characters feel off, or why this felt preachy, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like another reason why I just kind of like decided to get more into the gaming sphere specifically, because I don't know if you guys follow like what the gamer internet like side of the internet is like, but a lot of it is just extremely biased, and not a lot of them can actually critically dissect like, here's what's going on, here's why it's an issue, here's how it can be improved. And so just like, oh, you're shipping a game at 30 FPS, unsubscribe. Like, dude, like can you still fucking play it? Yes. Who fucking cares if it's at 60 frames per second, right? So that really just started to take me off. And it's like a lot of the mainstream kind of like gaming YouTubers and reviewers like hop on these trains too, because it's easy to get views when you just agree with what your audience is, parroting about, right? So it's
I wonder if any of these video game critics ever had to fucking blow in a cartridge and like try to, remember you had to slap the Nintendo? Like,
none of them. None of them have ever had to get a game on Friday from Blockbuster and try to beat it before Sunday, and it shows. And it shows.
Like Vector Man, some Sega Genesis game like that. Oh,
we see that a lot. I'm sure Vex would understand that. When I watched Eric July, Young Ripper, who's been with the drinker, he always would do like a gaming stuff and say like, everybody knows games like Dark Souls or freaking what's the newest one, Elden Ring and shit. And then the professional critics were pissed off because there's no easy mode for games like Elden Ring. Well, if you need easy mode to play Elden Ring, you shouldn't be reviewing the game.
If you need easy mode to play Elden Ring, you didn't experience what real gaming is like.
Yep.
Like, come on.
Vex, you are now in the presence of a man by the name of Blue Collar who literally sees every single movie that comes out into the cinema.
Yeah, tell him why.
Regardless.
Tell him why, Collar.
I saw Fast 10 earlier. No, because I got the Regal app. My view is right now movie tickets, even a matinee, is like my area $13. So the Regal app is $20 a month for unlimited. So I'm like, well, do I pay $13 for a matinee or $20 for unlimited? You could see 300 movies a month, and you're paying $20. So
he's one of those dudes that's like taking advantage of the system so hard that they're going to stop doing it soon.
Hold on. $20 a month, and I can go to the cinema and watch as many movies as I want.
I'll put it up for you in a second.
But it's even more fucked up because like you have to understand like the movie theaters make so little profit as it is. And this Regal subscription app thing, the subscription base, this is even worse because you have to pay people to run the subscription site. You have to pay people for the cards and the memberships and the website.
Yeah, but after taxes, it's like 23 or whatever, 23. But you said even 23, like it just
Christ.
on top of whenever you go see a movie, you can build
Are
up points.
Are
So
you at
like,
least buying popcorn and shit like that?
well, I was gonna say it. See, and when you buy points, right, and then what happens is after so many points, you get free popcorn. So I'm like, I'm getting free popcorn, free soda, and I'm only paying $20 a month for unlimited
Well,
movies.
to be
You'd be
fair,
stupid not to do
My
it.
my boy's wicked smart.
to be fair, that popcorn should be free. It's fucking styrofoam, basically. Yeah.
It fills you up. Yeah.
This
Popcorn.
whenever we have a group chat on the drinkers page, I have to ask a question or we're setting something up. There's always oh honey,
Cassidy,
you're
close
young,
distance.
you're
I'm
young,
sorry.
Cassidy, you're
She's so
young.
cute.
And so there it's always Blue Carl will pop off with oh yeah, I went and saw the new latest thing. We're like, Jesus, we didn't even know that was in the theater.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, using my Regal app.
Regal app.
They gotta start kicking you back some money, man, because I swear to God, he advertises more for that Regal app than anybody I've ever seen.
Well, now I'm gonna get the Real app when I finally move to the States because that's a fucking steal for
There you
less than
go.
$25 a month.
That's what I'm saying, because so even taking my kid to see a film, like they have RPX, they have we have 4D, but yeah, just a standard matinee being just a matinee $13, and then they basically $16 for one adult ticket. I'm like, $16 for one adult ticket or $20 for unlimited tickets, like
No brainer.
Yeah.
No
I'm just
brainer.
trying to be sparing on what to devote my time to. And like lately, it's like, yeah, I watch a few select new movies here and there. I try not to devote my time to any shows unless they're finished, you know.
Yeah, we know. We know.
And then,
We know.
and then, like as far as like what I've been watching is like older movies. Like, God, I'm just getting this '90s kick. And like, you know, I was telling Vex and everybody, it's like I saw Gilbert Grape for the first time. I loved it. You know, it's like
phenomenal movie.
And then The Slums of
Phenomenal.
Beverly Hills too, which I'd never seen. And I was like, I watched Renfield, right? And I remember being kind of like upset because like I know Chris Blue Collar loved it, and you know, I enjoyed parts of it, but I mean the problem is I'm like trying to work on a graphic novel, a vampire book next year, and this was kind of like doing some stuff similar, like a familiar breaking free from the curse, those kinds of. It was doing everything a lot of things I wanted to do, but like way worse and way like I don't know. Gayer, for a lack of a better word. I don't know. I mean, there was a cool part where a guy got his face ripped off. Yeah. That was fun. It was like a second long.
I did say with Renfield, that's what I classify as a matinee film. I did say a matinee because I admitted I liked it, but I didn't love it only because when Nick Cage was there, Nick Cage was fucking awesome, but then he disappears for 45 minutes.
For every awesome Nick Cage scene he's in, by the way, the best scene of the movie is where he's just monologuing about his world plan, his domination plan. That's the best scene of the movie. It's very Dracula-y, and he looks like the vampire from the Subspecies movies. You remember those? And he that's a great scene, but for every great scene with Nick Cage, there's like 3 awful scenes with Awkwafina.
That's part of my review. I said Awkwafina. If you would, I would have been fine with taking her out of that entire movie.
But anyway, after that, I was thinking like comedy is kind of dying, and then I watched The Slums of Beverly Hills, and I was like, no, it's only dormant as long as these gems exist, and we can still watch them. Because that was a funny ass movie.
Yeah.
Oh, what do y'all think about The Good Doctor? I know that from the horrific clips I've seen.
I haven't seen it at all. Is that the one with the autistic doctor? Is that it?
Yeah.
I haven't. It didn't catch my fancy. Like it didn't fit my fancy, so I didn't bother watching it.
I saw some.
It's fallen. It's victim to. It's a non-streaming regular TV show, so it's totally wokeified, and like they had a whole episode where they had a transgender kid that they were working on, and the doctor, because he's autistic and he can't lie, he's like, no, you're a boy, and then everyone's like, stop saying that, that's not right.
She's a girl. Well, she has testicular cancer.
Yeah,
dun, dun,
exactly.
Dun.
That was the episode. That was it.
Oh my god.
What do you think about The Good Doctor? Poopity boopity boopity boopity
boopity bopo
boopity bopo. I mean,
I like the premise. It's just if it's not on streaming, I'm not going to watch it.
Doogie Howser 2.0.
Doogie Howser 2. Yeah, Doogie Howser with autism is how they came up with that. So.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I figured we got another like minute or so of introductions. If you want to talk about yourself, Toxic. I mean, Toxic was saying, he had listed a handful of YouTubers that were, he wanted to stream with that he hoped we could ask. And he said your name, and I was like, I actually have an in with Vex because I was kind of supposed to be on a stream with her anyway.
Yeah, I had just caught her video Well, I caught her live stream with Dark Hour because, of course, I'm going to watch his stuff because he's with us. And then I was like, who is this? And so I went to her channel, subscribed, and I saw her video on the I was like, okay, all right, this would be value added. And then there was a couple other people that I wanted to get on here. One of them was Samantha Schmidt from TBR Schmidt, but unfortunately she's in Costa Rica right now, but she did want to be on here. She's one of those that does a lot of rewatch type stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, she's pretty fun, and she's pretty funny too. But yeah, that was about it. And then I had a couple people from my personal life, one person that works at my bar, and one guy that I was locked up with in the pen, and I wanted to get them on here. And but unfortunately, they got cold feet and or hungover.
Technical difficulties.
I'm supposed to say technical difficulties, but
no, I mean,
toxicity does not allow me to lie for them. So
I know homeboy said he was going to get a mic borrowed to him, lended to him, but it's all good. I that's why kind of taking our time with this. I mean, I set aside 2 hours.
We got the core four.
Core four is always good. 6 people's a lot. 8 people. We were watching Drinker stream. He had like 10 people on today.
10 people on today.
Yeah,
that's too much. That's too much. I feel like 4 to 5 is like a nice sweet spot, especially if everyone. Yeah, everyone vibes together well. But anything more than that, like unless you have someone that can really rein it in, it's just too chaotic.
Yeah.
Chaotic.
Plus you have well, this is a good mix right here, but you always have me and Enzo, you have 2 big loudmouths. One loudmouth Italian and one loudmouth Irishman, and talk over each other.
It's like the last 4 or 5 streams, because I think it was only a month or so ago. I usually stream Mondays and Toxic is off Mondays, and I'm always sending out links,
Yeah, and this is when he sends out links. He doesn't do it like I did for this one, like a month in advance. Going, hey, he'll hit you up at 10:30 at night. Hey, I'm about to go live. You want to go?
I go live every Monday, so expect the link on Monday and expect the We Watch.
I told you
video.
that this Monday. I was like, dude, you have to tell me because I forgot because I was working at 4 a.m. So,
oh man. Well, I guess before we get into the top three, we were talking about top 3 karaoke songs. If you want to, do you do karaoke, Vex? What would be your top 3 karaoke songs?
I've done karaoke a handful of times, but not enough to have a favorite song, to be honest.
Okay, so you got 3 songs that you do. What are the 3 songs that you do?
What are the 3 songs that I do?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Gloria by Laura Branigan.
Whoa.
Hell yeah.
Nice. All right.
Okay. That's a great answer.
That is a great answer.
Probably Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue.
Nice.
And
nice.
Ooh, what's another one I would definitely do?
If
you know what?
Okay.
Fernando by ABBA.
Wow.
Great
choices.
I just want to let you know that if you had said Party in the USA, I was going to block you from the stream immediately.
I literally only like one Miley Cyrus song, and it's because another artist I like covered the song. So I don't even like the original song.
Well, have you heard Weird Al's Party in the CIA?
I have not, but now that you've mentioned it, I'm going to look it up.
I'll sing it. It goes I moved out to Langley recently with a plain and simple dream. Want to infiltrate Sumter Will Place and topple their regime. Those men in black with the matching suitcases, where everything's on a need-to-know basis. Agents got that swagger, and everyone's so cloak and dagger. Yeah, it's good.
Nice.
I got my handcuffs, my cyanide pills, my classified dossier.
Wow.
I definitely recommend that shit.
Is there a music video for it as well?
Yeah, it's animated.
Oh, gosh, okay.
It's cute.
Of course there is. Of course.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess. Who wants to go first? Toxic, you want to go first? I mean, this whole thing is your brainchild, or what do you want to say?
Yeah, I thought I might bring up rear security on this one and tie it off at the end. But I mean, I thought we'd let the lady, our guest of the hour, pop in with her top 3. I imagine she's got some gaming stuff. Yeah,
my stuff is mainly gaming, but I can name my top 3 worst things I've seen this year. Than I can name my.
That's actually harder for me.
No, I was really struggling to get a top 3 for movies and TV, because especially for TV shows, I just don't invest the same amount of time into a TV show anymore, mainly because of time. But I did watch. I mean, for this year's releases, I did watch The Last of Us.
Nice. Nice.
I mean, like I
Uh-oh.
reviewed it week by week with one of the podcasts that I'm on, 8750. So we did episode by episode reviews, and then I did kind of like a cumulative one on my own channel after the show ended. I thought it was dog shit.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Man, it would have been good to have had
Oh,
you on,
boy.
because me and Blue Collar did like a 4-hour stream where we talked
Yeah.
about how it was okay. We compared it to the game pretty heavily, how the game was
Yeah.
just superior, and Wes was in the comments definitely like loving it, praising it,
He's
and
fucking with
saying
us.
we shouldn't watch it because we played the game. But yeah, man, it's good to have someone who's like polar opposite.
No,
Dog
it's
shit.
just like, even if you take away just the game comparison, like
course.
I really like I did that when I was watching this show, right? Like I'm just like, okay, I know where some of this source, like some of these scenes, some of these characters are coming from, but I'm gonna try to remove that altogether. And as it stands on its own, it is an extremely poorly written story and character drama.
Yikes.
That's all.
Yikes.
I think it does phenomenal with, its settings, all of the monsters and all that stuff. But in terms of continuity and development, it is absolute dog shit. And for something that takes place, 20 years after the apocalypse starts and is supposed to be about a budding relationship between two people, they did a horrible job. And quite honestly, I didn't give a flying fuck about any of the characters, even
Wow.
in, I think it was the second last episode where she almost gets graped by that cult leader.
Yeah.
So I was really disappointed. I'm probably going to end up just watching season 2 anyways, because it's good
Oh,
for
boy.
content.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point, though. It's like I was joking about how, like, when you look at these movie theaters, like who's like the grown men that are like populating them that didn't bring children, most of them are probably like YouTubers. I just need content to watch. I need to watch something so I
There
can
you
talk
go.
about it. But
Yeah.
as far as like cliff notes from our stream, like I remember saying, like the best stuff from the show was just lifted directly from the game, and everything that was terrible was like they were trying to do something else, and it was just like, God.
It just didn't work.
You had
Like
such
in
a
any
great
respect, it didn't
canvas.
work at all. Yeah.
I remember me
Um,
and Chris like went screenshots through the whole game, just like screenshots of the game, basically story wise, and just compared it to the show.
This is awkward.
That was my well. We get to that's my overall take. You guys can go. I said that it seems like The Last of Us, for TV show wise and adaptation wise, the past 4 or 5 years, I've never seen such massive extremes where some people would say like it's the worst thing I've ever fucking seen, which I didn't agree with. Some people would say it's the best thing I've ever seen. I didn't agree with that neither. I did find a lot of goodness, but I found some criticisms as well. So I was in the middle. It's like I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I enjoyed a lot of it.
It was
What-
entertainment, right? At the end of the day.
I
Like,
mean,
again, I wouldn't say it's the worst show I've ever seen, by no means, but it's just knowing what the source material was trying to get through to its audience. It's a really, really disappointing adaptation. And just again, back to just character development, like I didn't care or empathize or even sympathize with any of the main characters whatsoever.
I remember thinking Bella was quite a little snot, like overly, kind of a brat.
Yeah.
My mother, I watched it with my mother, and she was like,
Yeah.
I remember we were gonna watch like the 3rd or 4th episode. We're like, you want to watch some more of The Last of Us? And she's like, is that show with that ugly girl? Like, and I was like, yep.
Nice.
She's like, I don't like that girl. But, she grew on us. But, like Toxic never played the game, so he loved the show, right?
That's what I wanted to ask Vex, because she had played the game. Do you think that somebody like Wes who didn't play the game, that he just watched the TV show, it would work for him? Because people like it, I know you can't help it. Sometimes we all do it though. Because we played the game, it's
Nitpicky.
subconsciously you have to compare because we played it. But Wes, I think it does work though for somebody like him who didn't play the game.
Sure.
I think for a general audience, it'll sit fine. Again, yeah, you're right. Like we're totally kind of jaded for having seen the source material, right?
Yeah.
That's why I really did try my best to detach from that. And when I did, I still found issues with that show. And I'm by no means like a diehard Last of Us fan or anything. It's, I get the source and I understand what they were trying to do with the game originally. Just literally all they had to do was just copy and paste that game, and it would have translated perfectly. Like I know for many video game or like novel adaptations, that's not always the case. But this was a case where legitimately you could copy and paste everything and you wouldn't have to write any filler material. You wouldn't have to do any additional necessary development. It's all there for you.
Right. And also the thing is, like with like usually with adaptations, people, they say, oh, well, the original audience, people who've seen the source material, they want to be surprised. The biggest surprise would have been if it was 100% faithful. That would have been shocking. You would have been like, dude, they're doing it note for note. That's crazy.
Exactly.
But as far as like, I'm excited that normies, all my normie friends love, people who didn't play the game love the show. And I'm excited because when the second season comes around and they do Joel all dirty and the same audience is like, this sucks, then our validation, you know, of like, we were right for hating the second game. See, Neil Cuckman, you see what I'm saying? Like, you're over here trying to gaslight us, telling us it isn't bad.
Right. So like again, from the very beginning, my thing has been they're not going to kill him off in season 2 because Pedro Pascal, as it is the only star power driving this show.
True.
And he's like, as much as people like to shit on the Mandalorian and everything, it still brings in viewers, whether it's because you love it or because it's a hate watch. Yeah. And because he's been a forefront in a lot of like major productions as of late, he's going to be the reason that people probably will tune in to The Last of Us season 2.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like there's the whole rumor mill that he might be cut from the Mandalorian in season 4 as well.
Yeah.
And HBO is paying him, I can't remember if it's 600,000 or 800,000 per episode of The Last of Us. Yeah. So he's making good money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about Pedro, I mean, they said that they were going to, this is another shocking thing, not shocking thing really, but they said, you know, the first season was the first game. They're saying the second game is going to be 2 seasons. And it's like, motherfuckers, why would you stretch out that
The game
one?
should have been 2 seasons.
Yeah. I agree.
Especially if you're going to add in all this world building exposition about how the virus spread. You know, go for it.
There were just like little things that they had added in that would have been really cool if they kept not only bringing it up, but like exploring it, like how they introduced that the fungi can all communicate through a fungal network. That was a really cool idea that wasn't in the game. Yeah. And I would have loved for them to revisit that. But in every instance where they could have revisited it, it was just like, oh no, that's not convenient for the plot. So we're going to forget we introduced that.
Imagine like an evil Awa from like Avatar, but it's like the mushroom cordyceps, like queen hive, you know, it's like glowing and shit. Drop a bomb on it, you know, fucking something. I don't know. Wes is like biting his tongue right now because he loved the show.
I know. I'm so regretting bringing Vex onto this fucking stream right now.
That's like, dude, I have a whole video on why it's a bad show.
I liked your video.
I did not vet you well enough, Vex Electronica.
I was excited about when he brought up you. As far as so you're saying Last of Us probably top 3 worst things you've seen this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's the worst TV show I've seen this year, but then I've only really watched, I think, like 3 shows this year. So I don't have a whole. So actually, you know what?
Watch
you know what's even worse? I actually didn't bother watching She-Hulk. I just don't care about it.
It would be good to do. It would be it'd be good to do like a bottom 3 stream at the end of the year and just talk about the absolute.
Oh yeah,
the absolute worst. Oh man.
Ted Lasso season 3 is absolutely the worst show I'm watching right now.
Dude, that's another thing. I have lots of normie friends that love Ted Lasso, and I don't get it.
I don't have Apple streaming, and it's Apple show, right?
It's Apple, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that, but I've seen clips that I thought this looks kind of interesting. I was gonna get the DVD from like the library or something and check it out.
Season 1 is phenomenal. I would say season 1 is great television. It's great character building, great just environment building. You really understand why Ted Lasso is where he is and the impact he has on everyone around him. Then season 2 is, I mean, a lot of people say season 2 is okay. I think season 2 is terrible because that's where it starts to slip. And by season 3, it's clear that instead of developing your plot and your characters, you just care about the message.
So what? Oh, so it slips because of the message you're saying?
Yeah, literally every single episode throughout season 3 is just about the message.
It's a common. This is a common theme. The bait and switch stuff. You know, it's like they rope you in and then they fucking bash Joel's head in with a fucking baseball.
Right, like legitimately, I forgot that I was watching a show that was supposed to be about soccer. That's how off topic they get in season 2 and into season 3.
Oh,
it's ridiculous.
Did you ever see that movie Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield? Yes. That's a great soccer movie, dude.
That would never be made today.
So are we gonna?
Have you guys played Wolfenstein? Hitler's in it.
I have, yes. I very much enjoy Wolfenstein. I haven't played the last game, which I think I don't
like. They got Hitler to voice act in it. I'm confused. What do you mean?
No, so it's like it takes place in an alternate universe where it's like, okay, there we go. Yeah,
there's a new Wolfenstein game though, right?
Yeah, I haven't played that one. I think it
It'd
came
be
out
great
like
if
2 years
if he
ago.
means like actual Hitler comes up in it, like space Hitler in like some kind of Primark suit from fucking God.
That's
That'd
really
be so
Like
fucking
he's like
scary.
Jason Voorhees coming back in Jason in Space. Like he's like they
Jason
cryogenically froze him and it's Hitler. Or better yet, like that Family Guy episode where Ryan Reynolds plays Hitler. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna play Hitler, but he's gonna be good looking. We're gonna call him Hotler.
Dude,
Oh my
Jason.
goodness.
I was talking
They
about
would do that. They
the
did
Ja-
it with Bundy. They did it with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mm.
It's
They
only a
did
matter of
do it.
time.
They did do it with Bundy. They did, but to be fair, Bundy was pretty hot. So I mean,
Yeah.
let's be fair on that.
I like
mean-
Richard Speck. No, I'm joking. Fucking-
All right, so I feel compelled since I don't know how exactly we never, you know what, we completely dropped the ball and forgot how to establish how we're doing our top three, if we're doing like letting everybody do a top three and then address it. But since it's out there and you guys are both licking her butthole over how
Talk
much
about
you
one
agree,
topic at a time. We got plenty of time, man.
I'm gonna listen. I haven't played the game, but I did in fact, in order to understand what it was about, I watched the drinkers videos on the games.
Yeah.
I am familiar with the concept, and I did go ahead and watch the YouTube cutscenes where they put all the cutscenes together from the game, so I could kind of understand who's who and what's the deal. I just really like the show. I like Pedro
Hold on.
Pascal. Wait, go ahead.
Hold on.
Go
You're
ahead.
telling me you watched the cutscenes and you still think HBO's adaptation is good?
He saw the show,
Yeah.
the games after the show, right? You saw the show first?
Yeah, I watched.
Well,
yeah,
here's the
because
thing. Here's some important context. Do any of us have daughters? Because I know Toxic does.
Yeah, I do.
So
I
that I think is
No.
a key element there with Toxic's
Yeah.
unbridled
You're-
love for the
That is
show.
very wow. You're smarter than you look.
Okay.
And good for you.
I have no children. I have a
Good
cat.
for you. Yeah, I do. I like the whole father-daughter thing. I like how they did the opening. I like I like how we kind of just go right in media res, like right into what's happening after the how it happens. I like the slow and steady. That's my daughter right there. And I like the slow and steady pace that they have building up. A lot of the complaints that I heard, I don't understand. They're talking about how they nerfed Joel. I don't see it. I see a guy that took a sniper rifle and was popping zombie heads in the middle of a swarm, and how he beat the shit out of a guard, all the way to death, just because he looked at the girl wrong. And I don't see it. I see a lot of good acting. I thought a lot of the side characters were good. Melanie Linsky as the crazy Karen taking over Kansas City.
Yeah, I
was
love
great.
her as an actress.
Always.
Me too.
I liked I even liked the little girlfriend that she had. I thought she keeps popping up in a lot of random stuff, and I think she's a good actress. Yeah, Bella was not great. I'm not even gonna even try to clean that up. She's a bad actress. She has a contract with HBO. It's little Lady Mormont. Okay, she looks like a little pie face weirdo whose eyes are too far apart. Okay, I get it. Okay, I'm not making any defense of that. However, as the show progresses, and I'm going to co-sign on with the drinker a little bit here, she does get better as the show goes along.
Yeah.
I agree. They should have made this first season that's representative of the first game 2 seasons to do a little bit more world building. They're doing it backwards. But again, from a business standpoint, you can probably see that they weren't sure how it was going to be received and what the deal was going to be. They didn't know exactly what they had on their hands. So now after they've made a bunch of money and have a bunch of interest, they decide that they're going to have, they're going to go forward with another show. So I kind of get that. When at the end, when he goes into a fugue state and just wipes everybody out, I mean, that's great. When he grabs her and hugs her and says, I love you, baby girl, after she has to like hack that weirdo into pieces. I mean, I my eyes weren't dry, that it's just it's a good solid show. And I do understand. I game myself, and there's some games, when Tomb Raider came out, I mean, I've been playing Tomb Raider since '95, and when Tomb Raider came out, I was disgusted, because it was such, but I mean, I watched it, Angelina Jolie's tits and everything,
With
great,
no pants on.
but stuff like that, but that doesn't bother me, and I look at this, and this seems like a pretty faithful adaptation. And you know what? I like the gay episode. I think the gay episode with gay Ron Swanson You know, I mean, that's I thought it was just a good, well acted episode. I didn't think now should they have done more episodes if they were going to do a sideline episode, a filler episode without the main characters basically in it? Absolutely, I completely agree. A lot of these criticisms I don't have a problem with, but I mean, I think
Yeah,
the
you
the
liked
sh-
it.
I just like the show,
Yeah,
and
there's nothing wrong with that.
you know, yeah. At the end of the day, and I'm not too forgiving of a
This
person.
is why I'm excited to know what you think about the second season. This is why I'm like, I can't wait to find out.
I
how
don't
you
think
feel
it's going to be what you think it's going to be. I think they're
Yeah,
going to take
they'll
a
take
page
their
out of
time.
the Walking Dead. You know,
Yeah.
everybody was so sure all the Walking Dead comic book, fat comic book guys from The Simpsons were all, well, you know, he's going to kill Glenn,
actually.
and actually, you know, and then the Walking Dead deferred from the source material just enough to make it interesting. I wouldn't want something that was just the source material. I want you to kind of take something. You know, my favorite movies is The Prestige. We've talked about this in other streams.
Oh yeah.
And the book is terrible. Nolan took the best parts of the book and completely flipped it on its head and did something else with it. I totally dig that. So if they do that with Last of Us Part 2, I'm game.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, what else did you like, Vex? Anything else that you loved?
Okay, the best show I've watched so far this year. I'm not done it yet. Silo, also on Apple
Oh,
TV.
I've heard good stuff about that. I've heard really good stuff
I don't
about
even
that.
know what
Yeah.
the hell that is.
So, basically, it's a dystopian sci-fi drama. So it's like 100 years or so in the future, and something
Mhm.
has happened basically to wipe out life on Earth. So whoever is remaining, they live in these giant constructed silos. So as it is, yeah, there we go. There's the poster. So as it is, we're just kind of learning that there might be more to the tale. All these people are being told that, you know, there's no life outside of the silo and that there's something a lot more nefarious at hand kind of going on. So
Mm.
I just finished the third episode. I haven't had time to actually watch anything. So I'm hoping
No.
to finish it off next week, but I am really enjoying it. I know some people have a problem with the main character played by Rebecca Ferguson because she's super masculine
That's her,
and
right?
tries to, you know, gung ho,
Yeah.
but in all honesty, like I don't notice it as much because it doesn't feel like it's overtly in my face and it works with what they're trying to get what they're trying to do with the plot so far and how they're trying to progress it. So like early on, like 3 episodes in, it's not bothersome, rightfully so. I can understand why people have an issue with it because of what media has been doing to women the last 3-4 years, but this is a solid show so
Is
far.
this
Definitely
Rashida
recommend.
Jones back here?
It is, yes. She only shows up in the first episode, though.
Well, I like her. I like this girl a lot from
yeah,
Dune.
Rebecca
Dr. Sleep
Ferguson. Yeah,
and Dune. Common, he's one of the rappers with the cooler names, and then of course Tim Robbins. He's elite in my book. And Bobbity
he's always
Boppo talking about how they bought the 2 books at Hastings. They love Hastings.
Boppy
so-
Boppo.
Have you
We
seen-
watched our Dante's Peak. We watched the Hastings get exploded.
Yeah.
In that movie,
I think
they
he's
destroyed
saying.
the
I
Hastings.
think he meant the Walking Dead books, TWD.
Oh,
Yeah.
the TWD
Yeah.
books, of course. I thought that was a typo. I love
No.
the books, man, and I definitely I was one of those fat comic book nerds that was constantly comparing the Walking Dead show to the
Comic book guy.
comics.
Yep.
Dale and what's her face are supposed to be a couple, and why is everyone dying when they shouldn't be? And what I think everyone toned out of season 3 because the show was so morose and there's no levity and what's the point?
I just got bored, so I
Yeah,
stopped
it's boring.
around season.
There's no
4.
driving. There's no driving reason to go. That's why zombie movies are great. Zombie fucking 10-hour season episodics. Fucking God, it sounds like torture. Zombie. I want a tight 90. You know, that's can we bring back the tight 90s? That's why I like these 90s movies because they're 80 minutes long. It's tight. Anyway, so yeah, Silo, Apple TV. I know
I will
everyone
look
was
for it.
liking last year the Apple TV show Severance.
I watched that earlier this year too, and absolutely loved it.
Nice.
Loved it.
Nice.
So
I wonder if Apple TV might be I'm wondering if I can.
That's kind of what I was getting at. I
wonder if that's worth doing because they did just shut down HBO Max and Amazon.
Watch all my shit off the
Yeah.
ether for free, but
Yeah.
it's good to have a site to browse. Peruse.
Well, you'd be surprised what's at the library. I got one of my shows from the library, so yeah.
Well, anything else, X? I mean,
In terms of TV shows, that's about, like I said, I haven't been investing in as much time as I'd like to into TV shows,
no
but
worries.
yeah,
Game?
and just Disney Plus, I don't care for anything that's on Disney
No,
Plus.
no, it's
So
trash.
I don't like, even Loki and WandaVision, just didn't care, so I didn't bother
Fucking
watching them.
awful. God.
Straight
Yeah.
trash. Straight trash.
Yeah.
No games, Vex?
Oh, the best game I have played this year, and it
Say
gets a very rare 10 out of 10 for me. Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Racing game,
Hi-Fi
I'm
Rush.
assuming?
Pardon?
This is a racing game?
No, surprisingly not, because of the name. No, it's from Bethesda. It's one of their smaller like subsidiaries, Tango Gameworks. It's a Japanese company. But it's in that kind of animated style, and it's a bit of just like a platformer and action game. It's very reminiscent of stuff that you would play in the 90s on like the Sega.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Essentially it's like this kid, it takes place in a futuristic city, and this kid really just wants to be part of this like a cyborg program, we'll say. It's like a robotics program, right, at this company. But he also, like, his dream is to be a rock star, so he's just kind of doing this for the money. And during the whole process, he accidentally gets his like iPod fused into his body, so now the world around him is just to the beat of this pretty cool rock music. It's a great soundtrack. And he's
Nice.
just like, he's beating his way through robots, and he fights bosses and stuff. Like, animation aside, like, it played extremely smoothly. The combat was beautiful. The soundtrack was beautiful. I loved the comedy. I know a lot of people thought it was cringy, but I found myself genuinely laughing. I couldn't stop playing this game. I loved it.
Nice.
It was, in every respect, it was a 10 out of 10.
Is it like
What's-
replayability factor? Because I love
Yeah.
those like
Oh.
Nintendo games that you could just play them over and over again. They never get old because they're not really story-driven.
100%. If you wanted to go back and try everything harder, like, there's modes for you to try like levels again, so it's harder, so you get different loot and all that stuff. It 100% has more replay value.
Nice.
Nice.
Mhm.
What system is it for?
It's Xbox and PC.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
cool.
It's on, if you wanted to try Game Pass, it's on there. I
Okay.
have a Game Pass subscription. Again, it was like shadow dropped, so the day it was announced was the day it released, and it's fantastic. Another good one I've played so far this year as well. I didn't try Hogwarts Legacy just because I don't care about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like most of the big fandoms, like Star Wars, Star Trek, Harry Potter, I just don't care about any of them.
Yeah.
I can't get into them. But I did play Atomic Heart, and I have a video. Actually, I have a video out on Hi-Fi Rush as well. But Atomic Heart, I really enjoyed. Same thing. It's like futuristic. If Russia had won World War II, kind of what their society would be like.
Love
And it takes place in the 60s. And there is a retired kind of vet who is tasked with kind of figuring out why certain things are going down in the city they have. And you're just fighting a bunch of robots, and it's very reminiscent of BioShock, if you guys have played any of the
Yeah.
BioShock games. Yeah.
For sure.
The combat is almost identical, I would say. But that was another good one I played. The next big release that's on my list. Oh yeah, I just played Redfall. That just came out.
How do you like it?
I know a lot of people are shitting on it. You know what?
Yeah, my
Just
friends hate it
because,
right now.
yeah, just because it's fun for co-op, I rate it as a mid game for that reason alone. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with the co-op. But on its own, it's not a very good game. I've been meaning to play this dating sim called Romancylvania, where you can like date monsters. That's
that's
been
the
on
best
my
name
Steam
ever.
wish list for a while, so I really want to play through that. Probably, I'll probably finally buy it and play it next week when I have.
That's one of those
time.
things where you hope the game lives up to the name, you know?
Oh my god, everything I've seen from it, like, honestly, I played my first dating simulator game last year, and like, unironically, I loved it. So, like, like, when I found out this was coming, I was like, oh, fuck, oh god. So that's kind of next on my list.
Romancylvania.
I'm trying to think what else. I played a lot of games throughout 2022. That's the thing. Like, there hasn't been enough so far in 2023. But yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is my top game of this year so far.
Sweet.
Vex, since you're a gamer person, let me ask you this. What the hell's going on with Suicide Squad versus the Justice League? I've been waiting for that for 3 years. What is happening
Yeah, me
with
too.
that?
Dude, honestly, just
Shut out. But 9 times out of 10, usually it's like royalty issues, you know.
But I remember seeing the original preview for that in 2020.
Yeah,
And I was like, man, this looks like a cool game. I want to play this
yeah.
game.
On top
Yeah,
of
it's
fucking 4-player
they're
co-op. Oh, it looks so
it
good.
was too big for their britches, you know. You try
Mhm.
to make these like crazy concept games that sound
Oh,
too.
hello.
Yeah, you're back.
We got you.
That-
We
Okay,
got you.
sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay. It's okay.
Yeah, no, COVID just threw a permanent wrench into the entire industry, and now every release that we've gotten over the last like 2 years,
Right.
like 2022 and into 2023 now, it's just a mess.
Yeah,
'Cause a
games are
lot of
released like practically all buggy, like unreleased, right? When they
I
come
mean,
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
that was a norm far before
Okay.
COVID. That's
Oh
just something I
God.
can't get over altogether. But it's just all these companies are just pushing out product for the sake of pushing out product, and they're not polishing anything.
Of
So
course.
I think it's more the industry it's starting to
Yeah. I think just cut out again, but I think you're back.
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's the industry's shifted now where it's just like we don't care if we're putting out good, enjoyable content. It's just content. Like we want to make
Yeah.
money.
Push
Yeah,
more
that's the same.
content.
That's
Yeah.
the same with all the streaming platforms. Like, why
Exactly.
release a fucking Mandalorian 90-minute movie when you could turn it into 3 seasons of the Baby Yoda show? You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
more content for the subscriber. The subscriber thinks in like hours of content, right? They don't think in the quality of content. And I think they're starting to realize like that's not true. I'd
Yep.
rather pay for a streaming platform that had limited movies, but they were all good. You know what I mean? They're all bangers.
Yeah, it's companies like corporate greed. That was a problem. Like I played every Assassin's Creed game, but even I admitted that Ubisoft, their problem was they're putting out 1 a year, 1 a year, 1 a year. It's like, guys, you're pushing out too fucking fast. You're
Yeah.
not giving your developers and creators enough time to fix everything. Versus like say God of War 2018, the God of War Ragnarok. It takes these guys 5 years to make a God of War game, and then when you play
Yeah.
it, you're like, you know what? I could tell this game took 5 fucking
Yeah.
years to make.
It's worth the
Yeah.
wait.
So,
The
but
last time I was
companies
actually
are-
excited about a game was like Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever, whichever one that was with the really good soundtrack
well, I mean, Vice City's my favorite
from,
soundtrack, but
from 2015. Well, yeah, Vice City's
Yeah,
All
amazing.
those GTA games got great soundtracks.
Those
San
was
Andreas too.
But even the Wolfenstein shit now, if the internet fucking exploded with, hey guys, GTA 6, now we're gonna have, oh boy, we can't say this, we can't do this, we can't do this, and like, yeah, we all play Grand Theft Auto to not be a
Right.
fucking
Exactly.
criminal.
Exactly. You want to go next, Chris?
Yeah, so we're
Yeah,
doing on top.
hopefully
Yeah.
Vex can pop in back in a minute. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm probably having more technical difficulties, but as far as like, yeah, what do you want to
Oh,
talk about, Chris?
Yeah, no, definitely top movie. And said as I'm watching it, and I had to watch it a second time. And as I was watching, I'm thinking about West the entire time. And I told my kid we had to go see it, but man, it came out of nowhere. And this is why with the Regal app, I keep promoting stuff because I saw zero fucking marketing for the Covenant. I didn't even hear about this
Yeah.
movie. Guy Ritchie, Jake Gyllenhaal. I
You're
saw
back, dear.
nothing.
Sorry.
And I'm like,
No
I was
worries.
like, why is nobody talking about this fucking film? And even the box office, it does like
Blue
5
Collar's
million
talking about
for
the
weekend.
Covenant. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant
Yeah,
with
and-
Jake Gyllenhaal.
And
Yep,
Dar
and-
Salim.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, I didn't know who he was before this, but
Neither did I. I didn't
yeah.
know about that movie until you, Blue Collar. I didn't know.
Yeah.
This movie
You
was
were-
on your top 3 too, right? Toxic.
It is on my top 3 too. Yeah, but
Yeah,
go ahead.
well,
Go ahead, Blue Collar.
but no, 100%. Because like I said, I first saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, you see things like based on real events, and of course,
Yeah.
for me, Guy Ritchie, I feel like love or hate him, I don't dislike a Guy Ritchie film, but
Mhm.
a military film is not in Guy Ritchie's usual vein of movies. I'm
No,
like, well,
it's not.
fuck it. I got the app, and as I'm watching it, and what Wessel tested this, I had to go back and look at like what actually happened. But man, that fucking movie I seen the second time, and I'm like, I can't wait to buy it on digital. And it's so fucking complex, and just like the story they tell, and it's like they don't. I was shocked that Guy Ritchie made a film like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And I mean, you saw it too. I mean, you want to talk about it too, Toxic?
I mean, it's in my top 3, so I'll touch on it when it's my turn. Go ahead, Blue Collar.
I think what I have ends with number two. Number two, I was shocked that said love him or hate him, but Gary Nerdrotic, he kept he did the 1 episodes at a time, and I kept watching his breakdowns driving to work every day. The Drinker, Gary, and everybody, Chris Gore, everyone was talking about Star Trek Picard season 3, and I'm like, okay, if even Drinker, all of them guys were saying, "Holy shit, this is actually worth watching." So I waited until the whole fucking thing ended, and I started watching it one at a time. And I'm like,
Same.
you know what?
Same.
I mean, like the guy Doomcock. I get where some people, and Doomcock does make a good point that listen, guys, season one and two are total fucking dog shit. I won't fucking debate that. But this, it can't make up for what's happened in the past. But this truly is the last time you're ever going to see these fucking actors together on screen again. And this truly felt like the swan song to the next generation. And I fucking loved every single episode. I was blown away by how fucking great this was.
Agreed.
And mostly because we all fucking know it. The next maybe decade, if not longer, I mean, we're not going to get anything good out of Star Trek in the past 10 years. I can think of a single time. I mean, for the first time in a fucking decade, I'm actually watching Star Trek and I want to see more Star Trek.
Yeah.
So,
it was was really good. I agree 100%.
I mean, yes, yeah, of course it does have, there are some fucking flaws, and even Nerdrotic or Drinker would say that there's some things you can't ignore from the first two seasons, but considering what happened, they made up for that shit. You know, they worked around it.
So you know, I know we're kind of going to the second movie, but back to the Covenant. I did watch the Covenant today because I knew that Toxic and Collar were gonna talk about it. It was in their top 3 movies, and I did see it today. And I gotta say, I liked it too. It was very Guy Ritchie, had a very cocaine fueled direction, especially with like these like montages going on early on with the.
Agreed.
I enjoyed the pacing too because I was kind of like, I remember like, I mean, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but I remember like thinking like this scene, you know, early on in the movie feels like it should be like towards the end, and then you realize like there's like a whole nother third act and it got kind of crazy, but I did kind of like wasn't really down with the whole Deus Ex Machina at the end with just like, you know, everyone getting kind of rescued at the very last minute, but I guess that's how it actually went down, so good for them.
But not to mention, well, you've seen it too, like in West Indies, as it's happening, I'm thinking to myself, I play Call of Duty Modern Warfare here and there, and when they pulled out the setting calling the gunship, I'm like, oh fuck. Fucking entire sequence. Holy, and I'm thinking to myself, Wes would have to tell me, like, is how realistic was that scene? I don't know.
Not at all. Not realistic at all. Unfortunately, I it's my only complaint. It's my only complaint. There's no way, even the most high-paid contractors don't have that level of air support. I mean, that's too much. That unfortunately, I hate to say it. I hate to shit on it. I'd love seeing Homelander pop in for a cameo, but there's no contracting service that's got
okay. So we all had problems with the same part. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, cool.
But they could have done. I mean, there's others. I'll get into it when I do my little spiel on it. But there's stuff they could have done. But I get it. I mean, listen, I'm not one of those military guys that just shits on everything that's not 100% accurate. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. But as far as like, and back to, and in terms of like what you were saying with number 2 with Picard season 3, I mean, I haven't seen any of the new stuff.
It's really good. It's worth your time.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. But like, I kind of on the boat where it's like, I feel like they're just roping us in with like eye candy and stuff that they know that we want. And I know it's like, oh, they got a new showrunner who's like, was told to do, whatever he wanted. And he's like an actual fan, but it's like, too little, too late, man. And at the same time,
that's fair. That's
I
fair.
might check it out like years down the line. I don't give a shit about like the next season or any of this stuff. Like everyone's talking about like this other, anytime someone's talking about some terrible thing, like the new Indiana Jones movie is being brought up, and I'm like, just don't watch it. Just don't watch it. Like I'm in that boat.
Content for the sake of content. There you go.
Yeah. I'm like,
Enzo is the king of safe bets when it comes to TV shows.
I'm also on this.
He ain't watching something until it ends well.
And
it's 10 years that like he's like, one of these days I'll look at that Sopranos show and give that a chance. I heard there's a show called MASH.
I definitely saw Sopranos. Definitely saw The Wire. I've seen the MASH movie for sure. I love that one, Robert Altman. Yeah, I know the show's better, but as far as like I don't know. I'm just so jaded, man. So jaded.
He is jaded.
I've been through it all. I know what's up. I'm tired of the shit,
man.
I never got vaccinated. I lost friends because I said fucking Trump was right about shit. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, everyone's crazy, and it's just like, I ain't falling for the crap. I ain't falling for it, man.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've been on a floor firm. Like I haven't given Disney any money since Endgame. And once they fired Gina Carano, I officially was like on that train where I'm like, I don't even want to fucking talk about the Disney shit anymore. You know what I
hear
mean?
you.
Like,
Yeah.
I hear you.
we were gonna have a guest on Devin, and his favorite shit was like Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3,
Yeah.
The Mandalorian,
Oh,
and The Last of Us. And I was gonna
Yeah.
be like, you know what stream you're about to be on? I mean,
Yeah.
sure, bring it
Devin,
on, man.
Devin
Nice.
he is a Disney purist all the way.
I-
He loves
Oh
all
no.
things Star Wars. He had to quit the group because he would post something
jeez.
or
Yeah.
get in it, and he would just get slammed, which sucks because he's a good friend
It's a
of mine.
shame. It's a shame.
We-
It's, I mean,
we're-
it's good to have, contrarian voices,
I agree. I don't think everybody should be in an echo chamber just agreeing all
Yeah.
the time.
Mhm,
But I
mhm.
mean, some of the stuff he does, he's worse than blue collar with how much stuff he likes. He just likes
Right,
stuff.
right. Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
he's like, I just like stuff.
it's like, what were you eating? Were you eating a delicious meal when you watched this show? Because that might be part of why you like the show so much. You know what I mean?
I try
mean,
to balance out because Mahler fucking hates everything. So guys like him.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, that's
yeah,
the other thing. is like,
Mahler
we're-
defended Last of Us. Mahler and
Sure.
what's his name defended Last of Us when it first came out, and they were butt slamming it. So
My whole thing with like, I've been watching the streams with Dark Hour, and he's on like Little Platoon's channel with y'all, and I hope Little Platoon is like a joke with the armchair critic thing, and I just think it's so funny how like I'll turn into it, and it's just like my friend and these 4 English dudes yes, well, the complexities of the Mario movie is very unique because there's so many. It's just like, Jesus Christ, you guys are talking about the Mario movie for 30 minutes. I don't understand. I don't get it.
I always direct message fucking Dark
Hour.
Sorry,
Drunk are you?
yeah, I was just about to call him 5 different names. But I always direct message Dark Hour. I'm like, don't be taking any shit from these limey pricks. Represent America, buck up.
Yeah, I just do these streams to goof off and joke around, but yeah, I don't want to have a serious discussion about The Last of Us. You know what I mean? Like,
well, this is where these guys make their living though off of that,
of course,
right? Of course, they're going to sit down and make a 2-3 hour stream about something.
They're famous for it. It's kind of like one of those like curses, where it's like, if
Mahler can't help it almost.
If Mahler released a 45-minute video tomorrow, we'd be like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Why isn't this 6 hours long?
Yeah.
What's happening here? He'd be like, I just wanted to recommend something quickly. No. You gotta talk. You gotta talk for hours.
No. We've got to get into the complexities, you see.
Call everyone every insult in the book. I mean, yeah, but yeah, I mean, all the Mahler videos. Anytime the Mahler unbridled videos drop, it's like Christmas. It's like, yay.
Blue collar. What's your third choice there, big guy?
So it was going to be John Wick, but I had to give this in. But finally, the drinker recommended it, which I knew he would, and Erotic, because we've seen this trailer for John Wick 4 was fucking Sisu. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, out of everything I've seen all in 2023, it's the most fucking fun I've had because it's so batshit crazy and in a good way. And it's basically it's like John Wick in World War II. It's like this could be John Wick's grandfather. That's what it should be.
Okay.
and then when the drinker put a video up, I'm like, exactly. It is. It knows exactly what it is. But I mean, come on, guys. It's like you have a Finnish guy brutally murdering Nazis, and the shit he does is so over the fucking top. Like, and I put it in the group. One guy's, dude, you're spoiling stuff. I said, I'm telling you 1% what goes on. I'm like, guys, do you ever see like a horse step on a landmine and explode? I just did. You ever see a guy in the trailer throw a landmine at a man's head and watch his body explode? I just saw this. It's some of the shit he's doing. It's like there's over the top cheesy, but over the top glorious. And the guy doesn't fucking talk. He has one line in the entire 90 minutes. It's just endlessly brutally killing fucking Nazis to the point where I had to be careful. I said this because he's killing Nazis. The way he's killing some of these guys, I start feeling fucking pity for the way he's fucking these guys up. Holy shit! And
so
it's the most
blue collar loser sympathizes with Nazis. You heard it here, folks.
That's
you heard it here
tonight.
You
say it. A friend of mine texted. He's like, "How was it?" I'm like, "Dude, I started feeling bad for the bad guys. You fucking sympathize." I'm like, "No, the way he's killing these guys, they're still human. For Christ's sakes, man, the human body wasn't meant to move like that."
Oh boy.
It's the most simplistic fucking plot. Everything you know was in the first 5 minutes. The guy is digging for gold. He finds gold. He's walking with his horse. The Nazis want his gold. and they're not going to get his gold, and that's it. He just wants to get his
Yeah.
gold to a bank, and then fucking Nazis are in his way, and it's the whole movie could be one sentence, and a 5-year-old could have written the script, and that's what's so perfect about that. And just you're watching this guy fucking find different ways to kill people, and the shit he's doing. I mean, oh god, I loved every second of it.
Well,
Nice.
yeah, I remember like the criticisms of like Avatar 2 was like the movie's like a demo reel for special effects. And it's like, yeah, but John Wick and Sisu and these movies are demo reels for stuntmen. So, I mean, these movies are also cool. So, I mean, I haven't seen Sisu, but yeah, I mean, I like a good bloody,
It looks
mindless
great.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so even the second fucking watch, it's like people in the audience both times. I first went by myself and brought my son because I'm a great dad, and people in the audience.
Yeah,
it's
you
one of the
are.
things-
Yeah, you are.
It's one of the things where because I brought my son to see The Covenant too, and he's dad. I love this fucking movie, but we're
Good kid.
fucking Sisu. Both times, the audience is laughing like it's a better comedy than comedies because how over the top the fucking deaths are. You bust out
Yeah.
laughing like,
And it's
holy
good when you
shit.
hate bad guys again, like villains that you don't
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to live. You want the
Yeah.
villain to die.
I don't want to hear about a sympathetic bad guy anymore.
Yeah.
I'm tired of
and,
that.
and yeah, and there's not one point anything complex. It's why they there for because they're Nazis and they want the good guys gold, and the good guys like, no, it's my gold. I'm gonna fucking brutally murder every single one of you. Pretty basic. That's it. I don't need a complex.
I've
plot.
said it before, but like, yeah, movies, stories that have simpler plots, you can extrapolate more metaphorical meanings from them. You know, it's movies that are made constructed with like a message in mind. Like that's why they come off like backwards and forced and trite. Whereas like when you just tell a simple story about a guy killing a bunch of people, the
Yeah.
movie's about the stock market's about to crash, man. We need to go back to a gold reserve. That's what the movie's really about, man.
Yeah, to me, films like Sisu was like what everybody grew up in. I'm sure maybe Vex did. We're back in the days of like, look, the Arnold films, like the Commando or like Rambo's films, are just sometimes back those 80s and 90s films were just the most basic fucking plot, but they're just big, loud action films.
Well
That's what we
executed.
fucking wanted. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
me and Wes are supposed to watch Commando, and it's like a guy gets
Hell
his
yeah, I
daughter
love
taken
that
away,
movie.
and then me and Blue Collar we're supposed to watch Speed. There's a fucking bomb on a bus. I mean, it's
It's
like
a bomb on a bus.
there's a bomb on a bus.
There's a bomb on a
Fucking
bus.
I wanted to be in that pitch meeting. There's a bomb on a bus.
And it can't go below 55.
The speed. What's this Homer Simpson where he's like, if the speed dropped below 55, the bomb would go off. It was because of the bus's speed. I think the movie was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
yeah. I mean, so that's my ending. Just saying that I did like John Wick 4 as the best fucking John Wick film. I went Sisu and said John Wick 4 only because Sisu was something original, something new, but because I had more fun with Sisu because John Wick there's still some realism in the way John Wick kills guys. In Sisu, the way he's killing guys, it's like watching a cartoon, but it fucking very well choreographed. So I was like, I had to go with Sisu.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, what do you think, Wes? What's next?
I'm gonna do my top 3.
Okay.
So I went. This was really, really difficult because I saw a lot of stuff that I liked. I do more streaming services. I don't get to the movies as much as Blue Collar does, but I did get to a couple, and I loved Creed 3. I thought it was amazing. I'm a huge Creed fan. I know it's not super popular with the group and with a lot of people, but I submit that the fact that the drinker who has been very vehemently shitting all over the Creed series since it began, even he gave Creed 3 a good recommendation. It's really well done. It's good executed. He brings in a lot of the characters from the previous films. It's believable. Michael B. Jordan, I really felt like he had become the Creed character. He even kind of freaking looks like Carl Weathers now, which is weird. The wife was tolerable. The kid was cute. And the antagonist, I guess he's done now. I guess he's been canceled, which is unfortunate. I thought he did a really, really good job. And he was believable as guys that I knew that spent, 15 years or more in the joint, got out, and he wanted to kind of shortcut to his success. I like the fact that they brought Drago back And, I really like that. I like the fact that he's kind of a plot point, and he even
Also,
trains with him.
shout out to Dolph Lundgren. Turns out he's been battling cancer for the past
Yeah.
several years. Bastard.
Mhm.
If
motherfucker.
anybody could still be doing acting and running around and doing stuff and be on having cancer at the same time, it's freaking Dolph Lundgren.
Well, it's just like, Prince and David Bowie, where like they just died, and you're like,
True.
oh, they had cancer for years. You're like, motherfuckers, why they keep
Yeah.
that from us?
Yeah.
We love them. We
Yeah.
want to know, please, Dolph. We want to know that you're doing good, please.
But yeah, I like the final fight. I liked everything that led up to it. I thought it was believable. I'm glad that they cut ties with
Stallone.
Rocky with Stallone,
Wow.
because it just wasn't believable.
Stallone. So what are your thoughts about how Stallone's saying he's not going to watch the movie because it's not a Rocky movie without him?
I don't believe that he said. I don't believe he said that. I think that's
Okay.
the propaganda bullshit that's going on, because he executive produced the fucking movie. So
okay,
that's just clickbait bullshit. I don't believe it.
He actually did say last week that he's not against coming back for Creed 4 if they ask him.
But they had to take the training wheels off at some point, and I like what they did. It just, how many times do you really need to see Rocky in there? How many times do they have to have Rocky come in and be a backup character? And they even and Creed 2, he says, it's your time now. It's time for you to do this. And I like Michael B. Jordan. I think he's a great actor. I think he's very talented. They made it believable. These boxers do not have long careers. Yeah. So the stuff where we're seeing Rocky still doing boxing up until 2006 was insane. Whereas now Creed has only had a career for a little less than 10 years, and he's already a broken down old man. I like all the fact that the antagonist, he's older, but he uses a bunch of tricks. All the stuff that I saw him doing, all the training he's doing is like straight out of you saw the movie, right, Chris?
I'll tell you one thing. It's my criticism aside. That first fucking fight with Dom, goddamn, he fucked that dude up. I was like, whoa, shit.
Yeah,
that was a great fight. I'm not gonna lie.
But I felt it was. I didn't want to see another carbon copy Rocky type villain. I wanted to see like a regular. I had heard rumors like when they were developing this that this was going to be like Clubber Lang's kid. I was like, please, I hope that's not true. And it wasn't, and I'm glad that it wasn't. I felt it to be very, very believable. So I know it's not. I think it's going to be one of those things that has legs when it's on streaming service and DVD and stuff like that. I think it's gonna, people are gonna pick it up and watch it and go, I like this one. I would have done things a little differently. Oh Jesus,
we're gonna get that later.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it. Don't worry.
I'm excited about it.
We're gonna get to it. But yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed that. And that just edged out Scream 6, but I figure that's done well enough. It doesn't need me, licking its butthole, so that's fine. And then, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is, of course, The Covenant, which we've already talked about. This is one of those movies, and the review I did, I mentioned that they're through that original running firefight that they're in when they first get away from the Taliban. I don't think I breathed for a good. I had to check, like I was holding my breath the whole time. It was so believable, and I was rooting for them so hard, and I had no idea what was going to happen. If I have any complaint about the movie, it's that it gave away too much in the trailer. Like the entire plot is given away in the trailer, so you're kind of waiting for that to happen. I do think they went a little over the top, but I mean, how many people are really going to know that, Merc contractors can't really call in, AWACS gunships and stuff like that. No one's going to really know that. So, I mean, it looks good. They had the money to spend on it. I mean, I wish that was possible. It would have been better if they'd have had like a whole team on the ground, like backing him up. It would have served the same function, but I get what they were trying to do with that. There's people who've complained about the lag in the middle where he's trying to go through all the bureaucracy to get Dar Slim and his family out of there. I felt that to be pretty compelling.
That was a montage. It was like a phone call montage.
I felt that was pretty compelling as well.
I like the pacing because it was like
it was
bookended. It was like 3 montages bookended by these intro outro scenes basically.
His monologue that he gives to his commanding officer, where he tells him, when they're going to read him, we're going to read him the riot act for him going over the edge. And he's like, look, I don't care. I'm going into debt. I'm going to go save this guy. And that's it. There's certain things that
Yo, man, your life.
yeah. I saw an interpreter stand in front of some Iraqi Air Force security people outside the base on Baghdad because they had gotten into it with a contractor, and they basically just decided they were going to arrest him, and who knows what would happen to him after that. And the interpreter just stood in the way and said, if you're going to take him, you're going to have to take me, and if you're going to take him, you're going to have to kill me. So and that's something that really happened in real life. Some of these guys were amazing. And I like the juxtaposition of this guy that says, hey, I'm just here to do a job. But he also had an axe to grind. The Dar Salim character, the interpreter character. He had an issue with the Taliban. He could have done other jobs. He was a mechanic. He had other opportunities, but he wanted to get in there and he wanted to be part of the fight. And I like the fact that it's not a buddy cop movie. I like the fact that his character and Jake Gyllenhaal's character, the Master Sergeant, they don't particularly like each other. Jake Gyllenhaal's character has a certain way he likes to do things. He doesn't like to be challenged. And Dar Salim, the interpreter, Ahmed's character, he comes from a background of smuggling. His brother's a drug dealer. He's lived that kind of life, which is why he's good at what he does. That's why he was able to suss out the fact that the other interpreter had been compromised. It's why he was able to get him as far as he got him. And Chris, you made a mention in your review, and I 100% agree with you on this. That moment when he's rescuing Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's pushed him up the hill, and you just know he's got nothing left in the tank.
Does he know that it's easier to pull the thing up the hill, right? He's like pushing the crate, right? Isn't it easier to pull it?
He was pushing it, but
if you put it over your shoulders and pull it up, you can go up hills. Like when I had to take my grandma places in wheelchairs, it's always easier to like.
I would imagine
ramp.
I would imagine he was worried about the durability of where they were going, and maybe even Jake Gyllenhaal's wounds. That's how I headcanon that. I don't.
But he also had a cart, but he wasn't pulling straps. He had a cart with two handles, so it's like
he'd fall out of the cart. He'd fall.
What I've mentioned, I mean, I'm sure, but after a while, but pulling up but if you're doing a cart like that, you have to put both your shoulders behind your body. That's gonna be fucking taxing a lot versus pushing.
Yeah. Can I tell you guys a confession? I unlocked a new superpower today. I watched The Covenant at quadruple speed with subtitles on, and I basically just speed read the movie. I watched it in 30 minutes, and I basically think I absorbed everything.
Nice.
I just put my phone away and like tried not to blink and just like.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Me and Chris have done time with people who do meth, so we understand.
It also wasn't like The Dentist of plots, It wasn't like I was trying to watch like Goodfellas at quadruple speed.
No. I think if you're rushing too fast, like scenes like that, though, you're not going to get that impact if you're watching a movie 4 times.
No, I know. I understand.
I
understand.
No, I know. You're just trying to get some context into the conversation. But yeah, I like the fact that the wife, there's not the obligatory scene of the wife saying, "Don't leave us again." She's just basically like, "Hey, this is the man that I married. This is who he is," and a guy that reaches the level of Master Sergeant in Special Forces, the wife knows what he's all about. She knows that there's not going to be any talking to him. She knows what this means to him. Honor. That's what this whole movie is about, is about a code of honor that these guys have, a code of honor that they share between themselves. It even extends to the Taliban. They have their honor's been dented and infringed upon because you have these 2 guys that they should have easily been able to kill or capture, and they managed to evade them. So their honor is messed up. And then you have the Homelander cameo security guy coming in, and it's not just about money for him. He gets pushed. Then you have the commanding officer that has to make it happen on the bureaucracy level. It's just one of those great movies that's gonna live on, and people are gonna do rewatches of it and stuff and understand. I would put it right up there with American Sniper and Band of Brothers and a couple of the other war films that just really, really touches me. And not just for accuracy, which it is, and not just for the fact that it's thrilling. Even in the quiet moments where, the big reunion thing after they haven't seen each other for a few months, and Jake Gyllenhaal just pops in.
Dogs.
Hey, nice place you got here. This is kind of interesting. What's going on? And it's like it's not this part. It's not this big embracing thing. Again, I feel like they maybe didn't even really kind of like each other, but they respected each other. I mean, and that look on Ahmad's face when he kills the 2 Taliban guys he shoots him with the pistol, and he's just made a decision. That decision that he made, because he could have just took off, and he would have been fine.
100%. That's what I was
And he
saying.
made that decision right there, that moment in time, and said, I'm about to
Yeah.
alter my life, maybe give up my life, my wife's life, and the life of my newborn baby to protect this man for whatever reason. I mean, man, that just, woo, that's the stuff. That's what I go to the movies to see. That's what I want to watch.
Cool.
So, and I'll go to my third choice, and
And she
man,
bowed out.
We talked about this on Monday, but yeah, I'm sure she'll pop back in. She's been doing that. It's fine.
Yellow Jackets on Showtime. I actually went and bit the bullet and got Showtime and got Yellow Jackets. I don't like mystery box shows. I don't like Lost. I don't like those kind of things. I think that show that Vex was talking
Vex.
about.
We're talking about Yellow Jackets now.
Yellow Jackets is on my list, actually.
It's worth your time if you get a chance. It's definitely worth your time.
Sweet. So continue, Toxic.
So yeah, like I said, I don't like teenage drama shows. I don't like mystery box shows. I don't even know how this caught me. I feel like I just accidentally I think I watched a free episode that was on Amazon streaming, and then I just happened to catch it. The first season was at my local library while I was looking for some books or something, and I said, what the hell? And I grabbed it and I binged it in a couple days. Let me tell you, there's people making a big deal about Jenna Ortega and some of these other young actresses and stuff, and Zendaya and the Euphoria kids. No, forget about it. All the girls that are in this show,
Forget about it,
are amazing. They are Emmy. If they don't win some kind of Emmy for these performances, it's just a tragedy. These kids are incredible in everything that they do. So you've got a
Lost, but with like cheerleaders.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's I do know that there's some of the people that have done Lost are attached to it, but I think they learned their lesson with Lost. And
like plot wise though, it's like
in a way, yeah. So for the uninitiated, the plot is it's basically this: 1996. You have a team of soccer players from I guess Jersey, and they are champions going to nationals. One of the girls is rich, so her dad rents them a private plane over the Canadian wilderness. Their plane goes down on its way to I would assume the Pacific Northwest.
Vex.
And so the plane.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's no problem. So the plane goes down, and
nice and stoned, dude.
They lose about half the people. And after they realize that they're going to be trapped in this wilderness, they're just trying to survive. And we flash forward to present day, and a group of the survivors that have made it, they're kind of pseudo celebrities, but they all have some kind of really, really bad trauma. And so it kind of flashes back and forth between what happened in the 1996 wilderness days and what's happening now. There's been some cannibalism. There's been some ritual murders, a lot of bad shit. It's starting to just slowly develop that you start to see that as they pace both timelines back and forth. I don't know yet. It's being really kind of close to the vest whether or not some of these strange things that are happening is a supernatural thing, or if it can be scientifically explained in something else, or a combination of the two. But again, like I said, it's really good. I've delved deep and seen a lot of stuff from the showrunners that are saying they have like a 5-year plan for it. I hope that's true. This writer strike doesn't make me feel super comfortable with what's going on. They're about to finish season 2.
I want it to last forever. I don't care.
Well, it's like we
Chat GPT write all the fucking late night shows.
Right.
Shit.
It's like we talked about in other streams. Me and Russell and Chris were into Mayor of Kingstown, and then on the second season it went completely off the fucking rails. So now whether or not that has to do with Jeremy Renner's accident or something else entirely, I don't know. But yeah, this is one of those things that if you have the streaming service, it's definitely worth your time. I see it's getting really big. So I mean, you can't turn on YouTube Reels, Instagram Reels, or TikTok without seeing some Yellow Jackets reference, and they're being pretty smart about it. They've got like they even have a telephone number that they can call, and you can call into, and it gives you a voice message about this cult retreat that all the girls are in the present day, and it's like, and it gives you some kind of cryptic messages and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of a cool throwback advertising type thing that they're doing with that. So I don't know, I'm pretty invested. All the present day, if I have any complaints about it, is that they had to get a big name star, and they got Juliette Lewis, and all of the
I like her a lot.
All of the teenage actors look like their adult counterparts, except for the Juliette Lewis character.
Aww.
Because Juliette Lewis is 8 or 9 years older than what. So like, you know, I graduated high school in '96, so like they'd all be basically my age. And Juliette Lewis is like a good 5, 6, 7 years older. Plus she's been living kind of a rough life. So she looks
Hollywood.
Significantly older than the other ones. But Melanie Linsky, who's one of the showrunners, you know, one of the main characters, she's great. And the girl that plays, I can't pronounce her name because it's like Sophie Leoset or something unpronounceable. She plays the younger version of Melanie Linsky's character, Shauna, and they're both incredible. So very believable, as, you know.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's my 3, and it was hard to come up with 3 because, like I said,
speaking of
the reason why I wanted to do this is we have a lot of good stuff in 2023 so far.
Yeah.
I mean, that's debatable. If you compare it compared to you know, last year or the year before, sure.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Compared to like 10, 15 years ago.
Well, of course.
Yeah. As far as like back to as you know, speaking of Juliette Lewis and cool parents, I will never forget my mother taking me and my little friend, 10 years old, to go see From Dusk Till Dawn in the theaters.
Fuck yeah.
Now I lived in El Paso, and
Great
we were all fans of Pulp Fiction, and it was like, yes, Mexican vampires in El Paso. It's like, hell yeah, let's go watch it.
Best movie ever.
I remember my friend Pete was just like next to me, like, are we allowed to be here? And I was like, just chill, dude. Just chill. All right. Like, act like you've been here before. Okay. I remember my mom was saying she got like nasty looks from parents, but it's like, dude, we had a blast. We were well behaved. We didn't freak out and cry or nothing. You know, we loved it. It was a great movie.
Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, I guess as far as like my top 3, man, I gotta say, it was like when you asked me about this, I was like, oh yeah, dude, I saw Innocent Blood. You know, it was way better than Renfield. We talk about vampire movies that are funny, that have like crime elements to it. You got fucking Robert Loggia. Robert Loggia was a better Dracula than, he wasn't even Dracula, but he was like the main vampire mobster guy, and he's way better than, I thought he was not way better, but better than Nick Cage and Renfield. I gotta say, everything was better than that movie, and it was done a third of the budget. I liked Slums of Beverly Hills. I saw Boiling Point. I saw Avatar 2. I like that. But none of these things are from 2023. I was like, ah, shit.
Well, Avatar 2 was.
No, it's 2022, brother.
December.
Yeah. So I saw, I gotta say, my number 1 on the list hasn't changed. It's fucking Infinity Pool. I loved it. I thought
I've been meaning to watch that. That's been on my watch list for
me
since it came
and
out.
Tyler Wolf and my buddy Ben. We did a 4-hour stream about the Cronenbergs, both of them, the son and the father, and Infinity Pool, and we talked at length about Infinity Pool and other, you know, the Cronenberg movies. How I love them all, and yeah, Brandon Cronenberg's previous movie Possessor was also badass, and Infinity Pool was awesome. And you know, someone had asked like, oh, you know, what's name one thing that was woke that was good? And I was like, I would argue that Infinity Pool had some kind of woke messaging, or not woke, but like the subtle, you know, undertones of like, you know, white rich tourists feeling they can get away with crime.
Score was still there.
Yeah, getting away with crime in a third world country because you have money. That's like the metaphoric message, you know. It's like common with, you know, anti-capitalist, anti-colonial messaging, which I normally don't agree with, but it was done in a convincing and metaphoric and shocking and sexy and violent way. I love those kinds of movies, you know. I like movies with titties in them. God damn it. Why are they so hard to show me? We watch these 90s movies all the time. We watch there's titties all the time. It's like, yes.
Prerequisite titties. Yeah,
80s
definitely.
and 70s movies, 70s movies
sure.
especially. We watch Piranha 2. James Cameron's first movie, there's titties everywhere. It's just like, fuck yeah, dude. So Infinity Pool was great. That was on my first list. And then I was like looking at the other stuff I had seen in 2023. And I was like I said earlier, I was like, there's no way Cocaine Bear is going to be number 2 on my list. I'm going to watch a bunch of movies and we're going to get something better than fucking Cocaine Bear, which I thought was okay, you know, but I'm like, we're talking about top 3 here. And it's like, you know, no offense, but it's like, you know, I'm hearing people saying like, yeah, I like this a lot, but it had problems. It's like, no, I mean, Infinity Pool didn't really have any problems. I loved it. And as far as like other stuff I watched, like, yeah, I watched first I watched the Mario movie and I didn't like it. I'm sorry. That was a movie for 3-year-olds. It was a movie for children. And I was just shocked about like the literal, like, you know, we got to beat Bowser, so I'm going to train you how to do it. And the fucking Mario level pops up and he's got to like jump in an obstacle course. Dare I say I liked the Bob Hoskins movie better because
Wow,
because
that's a hot
take.
At least they were
That is
trying
a
to
bold
take
statement.
the source material, a fucking 8-bit, you know, platform game, and kind of interpret it into something kind of bigger, you know. Whereas like literally just taking the game and turning into a movie, it's just like you know, with Last of Us, like, you know, you like the part where Joel is like killing everybody at the end. It's toxic, but it's like it's way better when you're playing it and you've already died a fucking 1,000 times to get to that point, and you're the one killing those bad guys. And it's like, it's so much more satisfying when you're at the driving it, you know?
Well, you know what I'm going to say to that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, gamers shouldn't.
Gamers should not watch that show.
Watch the show. Sure. It's the recurring joke.
You know,
yeah.
hey, just in case, I just want to quick. I don't mean to.
No, go for it.
Sideline you, but just so that you understand how bad Google listens to our conversations, I just clicked over to the group real quick just to make sure, and I got like 2 different advertisements for the Regal Unlimited app.
Whoa!
Popped up on my thing. So yeah, Big Brother be listening.
Hell yeah, dude! I like that kind of shit. Spooky. I can't wait till I can just like start ordering things in my head. Well, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I was trying to figure out what to watch for number 2. I watched Air. I thought that was pretty good, but it didn't make number 2. Number 2 was Evil Dead Rise. I watched Evil Dead Rise on Mother's Day with Mother. She fucking loved it. We both loved it. I thought it was great. And now I was skeptical going into Evil Dead Rise because I don't know. I was kind of thinking Evil Dead Rise, a high-rise building full of Deadites. You know, that sounds awesome. It's like the Raid 2 Redemption. It's like the Dread movie. But then I watched the trailers and I realized like, oh, it's just like one family in the house in like one apartment, you know? And it's like, okay. So it was a lot smaller in scope than I thought it would be. But the idea of watching it on Mother's Day with Mother, it had that great, the thing is normally with these slasher movies, it's like a bunch of, you know, sexy teenagers who are like friends. But when it's like a family, it's like way more fucked up. Cause like first and foremost, like I thought the movie was going to be heavy with the message, because there's like they've got like the middle child who's a brother, the youngest child who's a sister, and then the oldest child is like a sibling, like a they, them, you know, obviously. And, you know, you're just like, oh, okay, so surely none of the children are going to die. No, fucking dude, everyone's in danger in this movie. It's crazy. And I remember thinking like, how are they going to top the first one, the remake? Because I remember liking the remake. Obviously the originals are better. But the remake was cool, and it did break the record for the most blood.
Does Bruce Campbell appear in this movie?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't even have a little... He at least had a cameo in the credit sequence of the Evil Dead remake where he just shows up with a shotgun, like silhouetted. He just says groovy, and that's it. And it's cool. I was hoping for at least a stinger with him, but no, he's not. He doesn't make an appearance at all, but... Sad. I still forgave it because there's plenty of nods to the original. Like there, like a chainsaw shows up, a fucking big shotgun shows up, and you're like, yeah, and it works, you know. And the fact that it takes place in a big city in a big building, it does add to this thing. But I remember thinking, like, how are they going to top the original, the remake, the first one from a few years back? Because it, you know, like I said, it rains blood at the end, and there's so much blood, and everything's just like disgusting, and it's so cool. And, you know, you're hoping that they do that again, but not like I'm not hoping it's not going to be the sprinklers, because that'll just be a repeat of the first one. But no, they did a good job. They basically did The Shining and then some with like the elevator full of blood. It was fucking badass. And the blood, back to Renfield, like one thing I noticed about Renfield was like the computer animated blood, the shit has got to either stop or get way better, because I can't stand it when a fucking fountain of blood comes out of someone in like half a second and then it just kind of vaporizes and disappears into the ether. I want to see the blood stain the fucking walls, stain the fucking floor, stain the clothes. Everyone should be covered in disgusting corn syrupy liquid, you know? It doesn't have the same, like Renfield, like people are getting their heads cut off, a big fucking gallon of blood flies out, and then it just like goes nowhere.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's what I liked about the Yellow Jackets. They have not shied away from the, like, they don't do really any CGI. Yeah. It's all pretty much practical effects.
Are always appreciated.
And you know, I liked hearing the behind the scenes stuff of how they all the actors and actresses threw up afterwards doing the cannibal scenes, because the stuff was so realistic to them.
Eating raw sausage or something, raw hamburger.
Yeah, they had some kind of, I don't remember what they said it was, some kind of tofu looking stuff, but I mean, them just doing it and realizing they had to keep buckets next to them.
When me and Dark Hour did that watch of Sidekicks and the Hitman, Chuck Norris, and there's that part in the Hitman where the guy's like shoving like what looks like authentic, real, raw sausage, like pork sausage, just like shoving it into the dude's mouth, like talk. It's like, how the hell did they do that? Yeah, gross.
You know, my favorite line from Hitman, the actual movie, not Sidekicks, but the Hitman movie, is when Chuck Norris goes in there and he has the Al Qaeda guys that he's coming up on in the strip club,
right?
And he puts a shotgun on him, and the guy's like, "I'm not afraid of you. Allah protects me." And he goes, "Oh, good, then you won't feel this." And he like breaks his nose with the shotgun.
Dude, that shit, that movie was badass, actually.
Of course, it's a Chuck Norris movie.
That's like people are like, Nate, say 2 words, tell you what state you're in. I'll be like, Chuck Norris. Like, oh yeah, Texas, hell yeah.
So what's your last? Was that 3?
Yeah, Evil Dead Rise rocks. I mean, I like I said, dude, when I see an elevator full of blood, if I were to swim in an elevator full of blood, you shouldn't be able to see me. Like I should be like hidden in like.
So what are we looking forward to?
Like my number 3 would be South Park, the new South Park season.
Oh, okay, my bad.
No worries. Like, yeah, I gotta say it was a true return to form, especially with the Harry Prince episode. Awesome. Where South Park's like making the news. First the news happens, then South Park makes fun of it, then South Park makes the news. Like that was something that used to happen all the time. So, you know, and the fact that I remember people were complaining there was only 6 episodes, but it was like, hey, I'd rather have 6 episodes that are, you know, a true return to form as opposed to like, you know, 13 okay episodes.
Nice.
You know?
I agree.
But yeah, I liked Air a lot too. I like, you know, some other stuff I watched. I can't really think right now, but yeah, as far as what's everyone looking forward to? Like, yeah, where do we begin?
Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, my book. Wah.
Yeah, hell yes. I am first in line for that. Hell yes. Yeah.
And on top of chat fucking GP.
Yeah,
you know?
the World Privacy Tour. Yeah, also the Chat GBT episode and all this stuff. It was just like, yeah, back to make fun of current stuff. And again, like, you know, shows like one of the things I would be excited for is like, you know, the new season of It's Always Sunny. I just like good, you know, non-serialized shows, for fuck's sake. Why is that so hard? I just, you know, it is hard because it's hard to write that shit. Like I was rewatching Tales from the Crypt on YouTube, the old 90s episodes, and they're so good. All-star cast. You can watch them in any fucking random order you want. Doesn't matter. You can watch the movies. Doesn't matter. It's good stuff. And, you know, It's Always Sunny, South Park, you know, these, except for those serialized seasons.
I used to get so excited on Friday nights when I would be home when I was a kid and Tales from the Crypt would be coming on. I used to get so excited watching that whole Tales from the Crypt.
The intro
was so good.
Rocks. Yeah.
Do you guys want to have like Vex go first about what you're looking forward to?
Yeah, please do.
Oh, mine's gonna be a hot take though. Of it.
No, I'm excited. I know what you're gonna say.
All right. Okay. First, I guess just movies because I'm not sure what's really coming up TV show wise, but I am excited for Oppenheimer, of course.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah. Now my next 2. Barbie.
Barbie.
Me too. Me too.
I want to go see it. I'm not gonna lie.
Why are you excited about Barbie?
Well, no, it's just like I grew up with Barbie dolls.
Unironically.
Unironically. Like I had the dream house, I had the Mustang car for her. Like I loved playing with Barbies, right? So there's that, and just I know it's going to be a garbage movie as well.
I'm hoping it pulls like
100%.
a Lego movie and is just like way better than it needs to be, you know. But I will say if it does have the message in it, that's the movie you put the fucking message in. The Barbie movie.
Exactly.
Don't put
And
it in yeah.
the sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, the writer director, what, Greta Gerwig,
Love her.
she is uber feminist, so you
Yeah.
know it's going to be
Yeah.
dripping with wokeism.
Well, I did like Lady Bird though, and I did like the Little Mermaid, Little Woman remake that she did. She's a good
I actually
director.
haven't seen either of those.
My favorite Greta
neither.
Gerwig, my favorite Lady Bird is a recommend, a strong recommend, because
Okay.
it's like a nice, independent, low budget, coming of age girl movie, and it's set in Modesto, California. My second favorite band, Granddaddy's from Modesto. You know, it's a weird place in California. Kind of has El Paso vibes where I'm from, but as far as like where I know Greta Gerwig from, she's from House of the Devil. She's the blonde girl who's friends with a babysitter who gets her head blown off. She's hot. She's
That's
cute.
interesting.
She's a good actress. She's got a contagious smile, you know.
Okay. And then my last one, also a hot take for the same reason, The Little Mermaid.
What?
Little Mermaid is one
No.
of my two favorite Disney animated films originally. The first is Aladdin, and that was a garbage live action
Dude,
movie.
yeah. Speaking of Guy Ritchie, I was like,
No.
as long as The Covenant is better than that shit.
I just watched Aladdin recently with my girlfriend because we wanted to compare the. She wanted to see it for herself, and boy,
On one of
It's
my,
disappointing in every way.
there's like a clip from one of the streams I took out. It's like from like the Facebook days where I compared just using screenshots, like the first 15 minutes of the live action Aladdin to the animated one. And it's just like, dude, above and beyond how much better the cartoon is, you know? And yeah, everyone's already saying with Little Mermaid, like it's dark and gloomy, like literally dark. Like you can't fucking see what's happening because they're set in the fucking bottom of the ocean. There's no lights down there.
Right. No, it's just I know it's going to be garbage, so I'm kind of excited just to see how far they push it because it's a 2.5-hour movie is the other thing.
Oh,
I
what
agree
about
with
the
that,
ending?
Matt.
What about the ending? Have you heard about it?
No, what happens at the end?
So the spoilers, there's a
tell her.
spoiler running around from the page of the there's like a storybook adaptation with like illustrations.
I've seen pictures of it. Okay.
There's the picture of like the end, because like the idea is, you know, at the core, it's like you don't think that what's his name, the prince, the guy,
Prince Eric.
He doesn't really have like this like I'm devoted to you vibe until he fucking drives the boat into Ursula, right? He demonstrates his love for her. Well, in this one, there's an image of the boat crashing into Ursula, and the fucking Little Mermaid. She's the one at the helm. And first of all, she's standing on her fins. So if she could walk on her fin, then why would she even trade her voice for legs? If she
because
can walk
that's what having black skin does. You can just do things that aren't physically possible.
Also, how does she know how to drive a boat? What the hell's Eric doing? Is he unconscious somewhere? Where is he? I mean, I don't know. It's just going to be a shit show.
It's going to be a shit show. And I guess that's why, because that's going to be my next movie review as well.
Right.
The Little Mermaid. So like I've got early screening tickets for that one next week.
Wow.
That's the thing. I'll let you guys bite the bullet on that one and do the edits and essays about it. Like, I remember like when Russ Dark Hour was on those some of these bigger streams, he was talking about the Mario movie. I remember being like, man, I wish I had seen the Mario movie so I could chime in. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, no, I need to.
I still haven't seen it. I just I had no interest in watching. I loved the Mario games when I was a kid. Like I had them on the Super Nintendo and stuff. Yeah. But I just had no interest in that movie whatsoever. I'll eventually see it, but
I do gotta say, Chris Pratt and Luigi, Charlie Day, their speaking voices as Mario and Luigi are great. I do like their voices as Mario and Luigi a lot. I think that was like probably the best part of the movie was just them doing like a fake kind of New Jersey accent, kind of Mario, hey, forget about it kind of thing. And it's just kind of soft and just kind of, hey, I'm Mario. And it was refreshing because like the idea, I remember people were upset originally that he wasn't going to do the voice, but it's like, dude, imagine 2 hours of like, hey, Luigi, we got to go,
and that would be the number one thing they'd complain about too when it came out is, he keeps talking like an idiot the whole movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, why is he talking like Mickey Mouse? Like, God.
I don't care. I watch once a day the Jack Black peaches, 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 peaches.
Oh
I
man.
can't stop watching that fucking video.
See, I remember seeing like video of like Jack Black as Bowser, and it said Peaches, and I was like, "Is he gonna do the sucking on my titties song?
Also,
Sucking on my titties like he wanted me, calling me all the time.
Oh
You
my
want that Peaches song?"
Chief
And then
Plug,
I
watch,
clicked it, and I was
watch
like, "Oh,
Pitch Meeting.
oh,
Pitch
no.
Meeting from Mario Brothers. I was in tears laughing. That dude is so funny.
Oh my god." Well, yeah. What else are we interested in?
That's my top 3. So Oppenheimer, Barbie, and Little Mermaid. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll throw in there Mission Impossible 7. I think that's going to be
Yeah,
a
I
good
got him
fucking
featured.
time.
I got him
that's gonna
featured up
slap.
here.
That's
The
gonna
trailer.
slap.
Yeah, we watched that trailer yesterday, right? That shit.
Yeah.
A lot of
And-
shit. A lot of shit dropped like today and yesterday. That's like,
Oh,
damn.
so
yeah,
much
that's
news
why-
came out today.
Yeah, that's why we scheduled this for this. Do you don't remember? I told you this was the mid.
Yeah.
We're going into the
Mid-year.
summer. Yeah, we're going into summer. TV's going on a hiatus. Of course, I didn't know the writer strike was going to happen. And then I was like, let's talk about accumulation of what we got so far for 2023.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
So-
remember you had mentioned the Tetris movie earlier, which I early in this, I got him featured like right here. But I watched
Yes.
that movie like kind of in a stupor from like Utopia Fest. I was still like on drugs, and I was like smoking DMT, doing whippings while watching it. So I don't really remember a lot of the second half of that movie, but I liked the premise of it. Like
It's just
Okay.
well executed. I recommend watching it sober because one thing
Oh,
that
yeah.
I don't think a lot of people picked up on is as the movie progresses. So you know when you play Tetris, right? As you go level by level, the
Right.
blocks start dropping faster.
oh
As you progress through the movie Tetris, the pacing speeds up as well for the storytelling.
nice.
Okay.
Really?
Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Which I
Maybe I'll
thought was
watch it.
a really like nice intuitive touch for it. And there's some like fun 8-bit things. The whole soundtrack is,
I love chiptune.
score-
I love chiptune, dude.
it's a score version, like a full orchestra version of all the Tetris music that we grew up, and it's well done. I was just pleasantly surprised that was a digital only release. I think that had the potential to do well in the box office if it had more marketing.
Yeah.
But so far, that's the best movie I've seen of 2023.
I
Fair
have a
enough.
soft spot for the guy because he looks just like my little brother Aldo. I swear to God, he looks just like the dude, especially in Kingsman when he's clean shaven and his glasses.
Mhm.
It's like, Aldo, that's you, bro. Yeah, Oppenheimer. I'm super excited about Oppenheimer because it's like, I mean, Tox was saying, Prestige is like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
love that
I
movie.
think that's my favorite Nolan movie, The Prestige.
Definitely.
Agreed. Agreed.
Definitely.
100.
And
There you go. You won all of my respect back. Bex.
Yeah,
Good
God.
job.
Well,
Wow,
I liked
wow.
The Last
you
of
know,
Us still sucks.
Breaking Bad. I mean, not Breaking Bad. As far as like Batman, the Batman trilogy, like I actually like Batman Begins. In hindsight, I think I've grown to like that more because it's a more true Batman movie, with
Gotcha. Yeah.
all the fear stuff. But yeah, obviously, Dark Knight is a better movie. You know what I mean?
Well, the
but-
Dark Knight is arguably just Heat with the Joker.
Yeah, and I
mean,
love
it's
I love Heat.
basically,
I showed my chick Heat finally, and
I know,
and she
I
was like,
know.
"I loved it." And it's like, yeah, if you like these fucking long episodic shows, like let's just watch
Yeah.
Heat.
Yeah.
Like it's 3 hours long. It's just as dense. It's
And
fucking-
Enzo forgets the streams that I pop in on with him.
no,
like,
you've
we've
been
had those
Toxic.
conversations.
You've been on like literally like the last like 4 or 5 streams. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man. It's cool, man.
Yeah, no problem. Hey,
Uh,
and Vex, I just wanted to say I don't feel like you should have any shame about the Barbie thing. I had Barbies as well. I incorporated them with my GI Joes. I don't think we need to
Oh
get
my
into
God.
the
Yeah.
stuff that would
G.I. Joe and
happen.
Barbie. Yep.
But when GI Joe would take over certain places like Ukraine and Russia, when I was younger, the Barbies would represent, the townspeople, and just that's a thing. That's a thing.
Yeah.
And later joined the military, and that,
Yeah,
it is
I mean,
what it is.
I was also like thinking about talking about Oppenheimer and Barbie. I mean, Oppenheimer's like filmed on 65 millimeter IMAX and 65 wide
Mhm.
lens cameras, and it's the first like IMAX to be shot in black and white analog. It's a lot of cool like
Who else-
director
who else
technical
thinks-
stuff.
Yeah.
Who else thinks that Nolan probably legit set off a nuclear weapon?
I
just
hope
in
he
order
did, but
to-
I don't think he did. He said that he used like practical effects, whatever the fuck that means.
Mhm,
I
sure
hope
he
it,
did.
I
They
think
don't
there's
generate them. That's what a
Yeah.
practical. So instead, they just try to like simulate it like they used to do with action movies in the 80s, as opposed to letting CGI and effects take
Yeah.
over.
Well, as
Yeah.
far as like the whole AI art stuff, the Gen 2 AI cinema stuff, like that's definitely what's going to be they're gonna start implementing that for like special effects, like especially explosions. You got to see the explosions this AI art can generate in seconds, so that kind of stuff will be being implemented. I'm guessing by next year in movies. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Given the strike too as well with the
Oh,
writers.
of course.
Oh my god,
Oh,
AI is
yes.
coming in full swarm into
Dude,
Hollywood soon.
And I've talked about this before on other streams, but like, yeah, the thing is with the AI stuff, like people are talking about like we're gearing towards a future where everyone has like individually tailored entertainment, which sounds cool because whatever you want to see, you can see it. But at the same time, we won't be able to do these fucking streams where we're talking about, it's already hard enough to talk about stuff we're watching because there's so much content out there.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
true.
like, with me, like I try to just keep it to the chest with like movies, just a big cinephile. Oppenheimer seems great. Barbie seems fun. Even if it sucks, it's going to be fun. Whereas like Little Mermaid's gonna suck. That's not going to be fun. That's going to be like torturous and painful to watch. It's going to be like, I'm going to be rolling my eyes. Even if Barbie is terrible, I feel like I'm still going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to be shoving popcorn in my face, like smiling. I don't know. I'm excited about that. But as far as like, the Dune movie, that's going to break or, give her, break or make the predecessor, if the second one sucks, then the first one sucks automatically,
That's true.
So
That's
I am excited about Dune 2, but all of a sudden these trailers dropped and like, yeah, this random Gareth Edwards movie, The Creator, which is just like, I'm always welcoming some original high budget, high concept sci-fi movies. Special effects driven. Seems like District 9 when that trailer just dropped out of nowhere. What the hell's this? That movie ended up being badass. And I'm kind of hoping that's what's going to happen with this Creator movie. Other stuff that I want to mention was like there's something called The Origin about like prehistoric cavemen fighting some kind of monster. That shit sounds cool. And yeah, like you guys had said, Mission Impossible, the trailer dropped yesterday. Looks cool. I mean, shit. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. What else, Toxic? What are you excited for?
I go more towards TV streaming service stuff. Movies it's just so hard. I don't have the Regal app, and so that's like a $30-$40 investment when I decide to go to the movies. And then plus because they serve alcohol at the theater, and I can't really say no because I'm an alcoholic. Then that's another 20-30 right there. So
Kyle agrees with me about Mario, the Bob Hoskins version.
Yeah, he's gonna die on that hill.
I hate to give a point to John Leguizamo, but god damn it, I like The Pest a lot. I like that movie.
That is a good movie. That is a good movie.
But
movie. I don't get to the theater much. I am looking forward to Oppenheimer. I'm really looking forward to the new Mission Impossible. I don't know what happened, how those turned into like so good action thrillers into these epic. I mean, I guess just Tom Cruise power, really, I guess, huh? Like ever since Ghost Protocol, that he's kicked those things into overdrive, which is weird. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I mean, this is not going to be a surprise to Blue Collar. Reacher season 2 is coming out, and God bless America. I could not be happier.
You may want to hear this, but because I just seen Fast 10, I didn't know that he was in Fast 10.
Wow.
Neither did I.
And
it's crazy that there's 10 of those movies.
I think he's even bigger in fucking Fast 10 because it's the Fast and Furious films. He's not in it a lot, but he's got that thing when he walks into the room, you fucking know it's him. And that dude, I totally believable. A guy his size dropping 5 guys just like Jack. I swear these guys casted him to be a fucking Jack Reacher adjacent for Fast 10. He's so good in Fast 10.
Here's what's interesting about the Fast and Furious movies. It's like there's 10 of them. Remember when we're back to Jason X. Remember when that came out? It felt like the Friday the 13th movies were like an old 20, 30-year-old franchise, right?
Yeah.
Fast Furious does not. It feels like it's 10 years old still or whatever.
Well, okay. Just to give you an idea, the first Fast and Furious movie, you know what they were stealing? They were stealing
Point Break.
No. The first Fast and Furious movie, the stuff they were stealing on the back of the trucks when they were doing heists.
Oh, what?
They were stealing. They were stealing TV VCRs. They were stealing TV VCR combos.
Yeah, that movie's like
So,
2001 or 2 or some shit. You know, it just doesn't.
2001. Yeah.
It's just saying like the 20 years between Fast and the Furious 1 to 10 does not feel like the same 20 years from Jason 1 to 10. You
Oh,
know what
I
I
hear
mean?
you. They're
Like
they're
I don't know
definitely.
what's going on with time, but it definitely feels like relatively it's speeding up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. But yeah, that's definitely Reacher is it's been delayed a little bit, but I'm so glad they got it done before the stupid the
Yeah,
writer
the
strike.
Yeah, thank God.
But I mean they had the source material anyway, but I don't know if that matters because it's based on the book Bad Luck and
Wow.
Trouble. And it's going to be heavy, like it's not just going to be the Reacher show. It's going to
Well,
have a lot of other characters.
I remember the first stream I was ever on with you guys was like you guys were talking about Reacher season 1, and I remember just being like, I should prep up. So I watched the 2 Tom Cruise movies. So I kind of have some kind of fucking,
Yeah.
knowledge of what the hell you're all
Whoops.
talking about.
Whoops.
I liked them though. I thought they were all right.
No, they're good movies. I don't have a problem with them. I mean, just the show is just, talk about, being faithful to the source material is just incredible. And I'm looking forward to Dune. I feel good about it. I think it's going to be a good movie. I saw the preview when I went and saw The Covenant. They had a good preview for Dune. I was pretty happy with it.
I'm excited about Chris Walken as the Emperor. And honestly, like I hated the Elvis movie so much. The Elvis movie.
Really?
Yeah, I hated it. I mean, because like
he doesn't like it.
Here's the thing: the Elvis, as an actual Elvis fan, as an old guy who likes Elvis, like, yeah, I mean, come on, that movie could have been easy to do, but instead, it's like,
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard very good things about it.
No,
from everyone that's watched it.
Were they females? Were they ladies?
If you
yes,
are,
they were.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
If you are an Elvis fan, you're not going to like it. Like,
first of all, it's got the standard Baz Luhrmann cocaine-fueled editing, but the problem is, like, only that Romeo and Juliet movie stands the test of time because, like, all the fireworks and sets and costumes and shit was all done practically on location, whereas, like, everything after The Great Gatsby, or I'm sorry, Moulin Rouge, it's like heavily computer animated crap where the camera's doing like fucking, speeding around 360 style bullet time. And it's just the editing, all that stuff aside. Tom Hanks should retire. He should stop acting after Pinocchio and Elvis. Abysmal, terrible. He should fucking stop. Him in a fat suit doing a weird, like, almost like a foghorn leghorn accent. It's insane. And then, the whole movie's like he's the main character about how he stole money from Elvis, but also the whole movie's like centered around his love for Priscilla Presley, who, we don't talk about any of the girls, all the actresses and starlets and singers that Elvis had relations with. We don't mention any of them. It's all about how he was obsessed with Priscilla. Now, coincidentally, Priscilla, executively produced the movie or whatever, signed off on the script. So the whole movie's about how Elvis is just like, I can't be with anyone but you. I gotta live with you. You're the mother of my child. Even though she divorced him and still kept his name and his fortune and all that stuff. I mean, it was one of those movies where it was just hard to sit through. I had to try to watch it like 3 or 4 times. It was one of those movies, man.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But what's his name? Who played Elvis? I mean, he does the Elvis accent. How hard is that? Oh, thank you very much. I mean, that's not hard, but you got to look like him too.
That was amazing, Enzo. This guy
doesn't look like him. But I'm excited to see him play like Sting's character in this new Dune movie. That's kind of what I was getting to with Elvis. Like he's going to be the big bad in that one. And he looks fucking freaky. He's like bald.
Fair enough.
He looks like powder. What's his name? Sean Patrick Flannery.
Yeah.
Blue Collar Loser. Remember him?
Oh yeah, the Freaking Nefarious. I've got over 1,000 views in that video, and dude, I hope Sean Patrick Flannery at least he needs to get a fucking award for that movie. He was so fucking good.
No way that movie's way too Christian right.
I heard it was like anti-woke. I heard it was,
and
now I'm like, I don't want to watch it. You didn't tell me it was that.
Yeah. It's funny that Elvis movie. I'm sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Oh no, just real quick, because I said for an idiot like me who likes dumb shit, like I watch Fast and the Furious, I watch Avatar. For me to sit down and watch an entire film of 90 minutes of dialogue with no action, no blood, no gore, that's how you can tell it's a good movie to keep a moron like me entertained and invested. Like,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Elvis movie, I actually did it. It's one of those things. You ever like a movie and then you listen to one of your friends' opinion on it, and you're like, oh yeah, you know what? I was wrong. It is shit.
Sorry.
That was one of those. Like I did kind of like it. I watched it with my ex when it was out streaming, and then we did a stream and Enzo was talking about how much he despised it and why. And I was like, no, that's good. And then I was like, you know what?
The why is important, you know? Yeah.
The why is important.
Because when you just say, oh, it sucked, I hated it, and you're like, cool. You know, I remember I had a roommate. I never forget this. Like, he was like, I'm 37. All right. I'm an old man. But like when I was 27, I had a 37-year-old dude living in my house. And I remember he was like smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. He drank three liters of soda a day. He drank a pot of coffee a day, and he just sat on his ass.
Holy Christ.
Doing that, playing video games all day, smoking fucking pot. And he had nothing. Wow. I remember he moved in with his girlfriend, and they were a couple, streamer. And she had a job. And no, he should have been. But yeah, eventually it took no time at all where she got tired of paying all the bills and she just left. So now I'm just stuck with this dude in the house, and I had extra money, so it was no big deal. And he was paying his rent with the help of his grandma. I just remember he just had such a negative worldview. And I remember like specifically, like we were just like had some friend over and we're talking about Forrest Gump, like in passing. And, I'll just never forget it. He's just sitting in his room, just like, oh my God, that movie fucking sucks. Fucking piece of trash movie. And it's just like, why?
Yeah, actually, yeah. How is that a garbage movie?
Are you gonna say?
Movie,
are you gonna say it's better than the book? Because I know the book, like Jenny's not even in the book, and yeah, it's not the greatest movie. But we're talking about general audiences. Like people love that movie. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like his favorite movie was Southland Tales with The Rock. So it's like whatever the fuck, it was one of those situations where like, your boos mean nothing. I see what you clap for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gross. Why would
But he couldn't articulate like why he liked Southland Tales or why he hated Forrest Gump. He just said Forrest Gump was gay. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean?
That's what's funny is they brought me in on an Avatar 2 stream, and I was like, you don't want me on that. They're like, no, yeah. we want to hear what you got to say. And I remember sharing it with my ex-wife who had seen the original Avatar back when we were married, and she's like, she goes, you did a 4-hour stream on a movie you fucking hate? I'm like, yeah, I did. I shit all over that thing.
Yeah.
And then what made it worse was Enzo kept comparing it to these great movies. Enzo's like,
sequel.
Well,
funny.
In terms of sequels.
He's like, yeah, so kind of just like Godfather 2. Yeah. And I'm like, how dare you?
Well,
how dare you, Enzo?
Let me tell you the whole statement. Like Godfather 2, X-Men 2, Spider-Man 2, just like Avatar 2, we don't need to do all the expository crap that the first one does. The world building. We're there. We know what the fuck Pandora is now. We can just drop us in.
That Vex, don't listen. That's Cap. Don't listen to that.
I
shit.
still not have seen Avatar 2 because I don't care about Avatar 2.
Save yourself.
Yeah, special effects wise, I mean, goddamn, it looks amazing. And James Cameron,
3-hour screensaver. It's completely worthless. Do not waste your time.
But in comparison to Little Mermaid, though, I'm still going with Avatar 2.
I mean,
sure.
Okay. I mean, you can always.
Here's the thing, guys. I hate to say it, but I've been seeing pictures of this Halle
Bailey.
Yeah, Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
She's looking pretty goddamn sexy lately. I don't know how old she is or what the fuck's going on, but
she's like
Christ.
18, 19.
My God, I'm seeing pictures of her and I'm like, what the fuck?
She's gorgeous on the red carpet. I don't know what the hell they did to her in the movie.
That's all I'm talking about. I'm just saying she has huge titties. I've noticed this. I'm like,
it's not a stream unless Stupenzo can get us on a watch list of some kind. Almost every other one.
Yeah,
the Avatar stream he was talking about naked blue aliens and how he had to Google, like what does a naked blue alien look like?
No, I mean, I'd just rather have I'm a free speech absolutist. And, in terms of like getting my channel nuked or anything, like, yeah, that's obviously a no-no, but monetization, I don't really care about that. I have a job. I do this shit for fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm just here to goof off and like, yeah, like I want to make the rounds, get on some streams, watch some stupid movies with some people, just goof off, just do it on my spare time. It's fun.
Hey, Chris, with your Regal app, do they do they give you suggestions for like upcoming stuff, or does it like is it one of those things that works like an algorithm that it just goes by what it is that you like to see?
Yeah, sometimes things will pop up. It's like, oh, hey, listen, like there's a new trailer out for The Little Mermaid, or like, hey, like you put down there's a new promotion. It's like if you if you watch a trailer for Transformers, you get like 500 extra points. So yeah, they do it. It
Mhm.
does pop up on the app there. So
Okay.
they have different specials. Like, hey, like Little Mermaid, like right now, get early tickets for Little Mermaid, and you're like, no, but
I'm still trying to think about like how the fuck this movie could be 2.5 hours long. Like how many speaking roles and characters, and what's the God, like what is this movie
well, it was
actually
just like
gonna
the
be
live
like?
action Aladdin. They had to add extra songs. You see, my girls watch. She's like, wait, Chris, I've seen Aladdin like 1,000 times. I don't remember Jasmine singing that song. I'm like, because it wasn't in the original Aladdin movie. So,
Jesus Christ. Me and my cousin just watched that stupid Creating Rem Lazar movie. Red Letter Media made fun of it not long ago. It's bizarre, but that shit had better songs than the current Disney movies. I'm just not digging like the melodies that I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Like
I hear you.
Frozen, when I hear let it go, it's just not, that's just not a catchy tune. I mean, one jump ahead of the bread man, like that's got some, it's got some pizzazz,
That
whatever the fuck you
slaps.
want to call
That
it. Yeah,
slaps.
it was.
Oh yeah. I'm a parent. I had kids, so
And,
I had all the
like
Disney soundtrack DVD or CDs.
But like
for
Vex
sure.
was saying, like, all the girls love Little Mermaid, like, I mean, obviously
Mhm.
I was more about Rescuers Down Under and, Disney movies. I'm trying to think like, I liked Iron Giant. I like Pete's Dragon, the old Pete's Dragon with the apples. but,
Of course you did.
but
Of
Little
course you did.
Mermaid, that's one that I might've watched like once. I should rewatch the original. Honestly. I think
It's
been
good. It's actually
Yeah.
good. Like the girly stuff aside, like it's actually a fun movie.
Sebastian and Flounder. I had a little Flounder coffee mug for the longest time. Never really saw the movie.
so I was
Feel
going
like-
to say, Wes, real quick, look at the promotion section here for the app and things like, hey, for Fast 10, because that's obviously for this weekend, like sign here for a special Fast X poster, or if you go see Fast 10 in Screen X, you get a free Screen X keychain. But if you want to see Fast 10 in 4D, you get a special promotion
Wow.
for
How are we
popcorn
doing?
combo.
We're doing actual ads in the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue collar, they've got to pay you some money. They must be listening because
here's-
those two ads popped up on my feed like immediately after we
Here's the
talked
Little
about
Mermaid.
this.
Little Mermaid has a magical cruise vacation sweepstakes. Enter
Wow.
to see Little Mermaid for a 4-night cruise.
Jesus.
It's like,
Christ.
please see our movie. We'll give you a fucking boat ride.
So,
Please.
yeah, all the
God
stuff
damn.
is down here, like
Hey
like
Vex, and the because Blue Collar is one of my moderators on the page. We'll have a conversation. And he'll be like, "All right, well, it's the middle of the day." He's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go pop in to go watch this movie real quick. It looks like Renfield's out. I'm gonna go catch that." And I just have this image of the New York transit bus idling on the side of the road while he goes and runs inside of a theater really quick.
That's why I want to watch Speed with him.
Also,
also,
not to implicate you in any other crimes,
No.
Chris, but the fact that he'll like, all right, I'm gonna knock out a video real quick, and you see it, and he's drinking. He's like, all right, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with my review. Let me get back to work.
That's my favorite part of his videos, where he's like, "All right, back to work." It's like, "Aren't you a bus driver?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Today I'm gonna
Why?
be drinking. I'm gonna be
I'm
mixing like
surprised.
blueberry
I'm
vodka
surprised
with
I wasn't
Pepsi,
breathalyzed on a
Diet
daily
Pepsi."
basis.
And he's like, "It's
He's
okay.
He's always
It's
got
not great."
he's always got some crazy shit that he's like, I got some Sprite and some Boone's Farm that I found sitting on the back of the bus. And
No, but I do
True.
like how it's also like it's also movie reviews, but also liquor reviews too. That's the other
Yeah.
thing that you kind of don't really emphasize that you do liquor reviews before every
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, here's
True.
some random whiskey I got. I'm gonna mix it with this fucking Sprite I got laying around, and
Here-
it's all right.
Here's a quick clip from the blacklist of fucking, oh, it tastes so good. Oh
Yep.
God.
Oh my god.
or just like,
Yeah.
I think I'm dying. I do want to have eventually, if I do get taught the drinker. I've seen recently there's a stuff that says made from Scotland. It's called Clan McGregor, imported from Scotland.
Nice.
So
Nice.
if I
Go
get
big or
to-
go home.
if I get to stream with him, the first time I'm gonna say, dude, right here, I got your glass, and I got Clan McGregor from Scotland. Let's see how
Well,
it tastes.
I know some other stuff that like, I'm excited for in terms of like, yeah, I'm excited for all the Little Mermaid content that's going to be coming out soon, like
There's gonna be a
I'm
ton.
excited
Holy shit.
about Like it's one of those things where it's like
I just
you want to watch the movie
I
just
miss
to
those
get in on the
days.
jokes.
I miss those days. I used to work for a movie theater before I joined the army back in the 90s. And I miss those days where the build up to the summer movies was so huge and you had all
Yeah.
these great trailers coming out
Yeah.
and you're
Right.
so excited. You could spend every single weekend from May all the way to August at the movie theater and you would be, you could see something different every time and be no worse off for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I miss those days and I don't feel that anymore. I don't
Yeah,
feel
the
like there's
magic's
like
gone for sure.
Same
Agreed.
thing with like the YouTube days. I mean, I feel like the magic's kind of going there because like we were talking about earlier, it's like the discovery of like, I'm not crazy. Someone else hated this movie too. But now it's like, yes, this
It's
movie's
just a big
coming out
echo
and
chamber.
it sucks. Yes,
Yeah.
everything sucks now. We know.
Yeah.
We know. Now it's like when I hear about something being good, I'm like, oh God, yes, now you've piqued my interest because it's so rare.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
it's easier. It's easier to shit on something,
even if it's a 30-year-old movie. Jesus.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's easier to shit on something. I get that. I mean, you have to take
Oh, it
the
is
good with the bad. Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, trust me. I know. I shit on enough stuff,
but
but at the
it's
same time,
I
like,
don't want to be shitting on stuff all the time. My God.
Yeah,
get-
I don't either. That's why I'd like to approach things with a fair take, but sometimes
Is there
Exactly.
any
Nope.
is there any hope for the Marvels? Is there any hope that that's going to be any kind of decent?
Fuck no.
No.
If Brie Larson pulls those sisters out. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. If she shows her
Brie
boobs.
the problem with the sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm just
Um,
talking
no-
perversions and nonsense.
The problem with the Marvels is not like wokeism aside, it's the fact that you thrust these characters that we don't know at all onto us, and therefore there's no reason for me to go see this movie and actually care. Like even the Miss Marvel girl, Kamala Khan, right? She had a Disney Plus show which had abysmal numbers. Nobody cared about it. And you're telling me, and then Secret Invasion is out this summer as well. Then you
Uh-huh.
also had to
Yeah.
watch WandaVision to get Monica Rambeau's backstory. So it's like, in order for me to understand this 1.5, 2 hour movie, not only do I have to watch Captain Marvel, but I also got to watch 3 Disney Plus shows to just know
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
It's
you're
like,
right. You're right.
why should I care that much?
The
And
reason-
most people aren't going to watch those things.
You're
Yeah, the
right.
reason I
Yeah.
watched fucking Werewolf by Night was it's like, oh, it's 40 minutes long.
Werewolf
yeah.
by Night was good.
Just one episode. It's
that
40.
was-
Yeah. Oh,
That was
more
the
of
only
this.
thing Disney Plus
In
had that
fact-
was worth
In
watching.
fact, if Marvel were to just like spend Disney Plus, like instead of it being like, oh, we're gonna milk every single character and make a whole like origin story, if they were just like to like pepper out little 20-30 minute standalones, like if She-Hulk was like they released a She-Hulk thing on Disney Plus, but it was like 45 minutes long, and that was it. Like, and think about like what you could do with just that. And then just make a sequel like years later. Like, I mean, I think with everyone's ADHD, I think people would welcome something that's not so long form.
She-Hulk
Mhm.
is such a tragedy because Tatiana Maslany is so. I mean, they massacred her doing
Right.
this thing. She was so great in Orphan Black. I mean, and that's like
Yeah.
one of those little-known BBC
Oh,
shows
yeah.
that
Ugh.
was a word of mouth, one of those best shows you didn't
Mhm.
watch, and she was so amazing in it. And then when I heard she was going to be in She-Hulk, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then it turned into what it was, and I was like, oh, come on, Tatiana, what have they done to you? What
Yeah.
happened? I hate to
Yeah.
see that.
But I mean, I'll
But-
tell you who they really massacred. My girl, Jennifer Walters. That's who they fucking massacred.
Yeah.
I mean, if you read the comics, it's like the idea is she's supposed to be like mousy and demure and kind of soft spoken and just not sure of herself. And when she becomes She-Hulk, she doesn't become super strong. She becomes, out there, fucking loud, proud, fucking boisterous, commanding, in charge, and sexy above all else. And yes, she's strong, but she becomes like out of her shell. And this, like, there's like a plot point where like she's, got to, I don't know, talk shit about her boss. So she talks shit about her boss as Jennifer Walters in front of the big boss. And then she gets on the stand as Jennifer Walters and talks more shit about the guy, just like throws the guy under the bus. What Jennifer Walters, the She-Hulk, should have done is like, she's not going to say anything as Jennifer Walters because
Mhm.
she's afraid. But then when she's got to take the stand, she becomes Jennifer She-Hulk, and that's when she gets up there and she says the truth. She tells it like it is. That's fucking storytelling 101. My God. And the thing is with back to Kamala Khan, it's like, I don't know if you guys have known, but she's just died. She just got killed in the comic books.
Love it.
And I'm telling
Love
you,
it.
Kamala Khan, the thing about Kamala Khan, I have said this before, the reason why she's got a show, the reason why she was the star of the game, the Avengers game, the reason why she's being shoved down her throat is because Sana Anamat fucking created her. So every time she stars in one of these things, that woman gets a fucking huge check. And that's all it is. So now they've basically killed her, right? And it's like another one of these gimmick things that they do. They used to kill off characters, then they started making them gay. Now they're back to killing them off again. But we all know this is not going to be permanent. We know she's going to come back in a few months, right? But what's so fucked up is what my boy Ethan Van Sciver's talking about here is just how, like, you know, Spider-Man is here front and center crying. Why? He barely knows this woman. He doesn't know this woman. This should be the death of like Mary Jane or Aunt May. Wait, what's her name?
Aunt May.
Aunt May. Okay, yeah. Brain farting here. But yeah, I mean, instead of Spider-Man right here, we should have one of Kamala Khan's fucking auxiliary characters, like her partner, her mother, her father, someone we know, but we don't know any of those characters because they've done shit to build this person's, universe. So we have these stand-in characters that look sad, and Spider-Man breaking down right here like this. This is how we're supposed to feel. It's like, oh, because Spider-Man cares, we're supposed to care. No, stupid.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, it at least one thing.
Sorry,
that's okay. Brie Larson's tits look amazing. So I mean, that's we can all walk away knowing that, and I think we're better for it.
Well, Brie Larson, she can act, man, if she wants to. I mean,
Brie Larson's been in a few. Listen, I don't hide this too much. I don't like to flaunt it because I don't like getting everybody coming at me in the group. But she's been in a lot of some of my favorite movies. She's a good actress.
She's not a bad actress. It's just the script
tears.
has done her no favors, right?
Yeah,
I shed tears watching Room.
Literally. Yeah. God, what is that called? The Spectacular Now. She's really good in that too, and she's naked, has a sex scene. So,
she's in a Fast X too, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah. What was thoughts on that? Thoughts on that?
Yeah. What happened there, Chris?
She's not Captain Marvel, so she's in it for maybe I'd say 10 minutes total. When she's there, it's Fast X. She's kicking ass, doing fight scenes, and her acting she's watchable.
I had mentioned her. Okay. We had mentioned Free Fire earlier. I don't know if you guys.
That's a good movie. Yes, very good.
Free Fire is one of those movies where, there's a lot of like Hollywood nonsense about shootouts, and something that they don't really talk about is sometimes shootouts last a long time, like hours.
Yeah.
And
that's a very she looks like somebody that could be from the 70s.
Yeah. And this whole movie is like one shootout. It's like a bunch of like ATF agents and arms dealers, and there's like a double cross, and then the shootout starts, and the whole movie's one fucking shootout, and everyone like talking and double crossing.
Who else was in Free Fire?
A few actors, but it's Ben Wheatley made it. The guy who did Kill List, which is one of my favorite. When people talk about hardcore, like
Sharito Copley from District 9.
Yeah, he was in it. Yes, for sure. Charlton.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Free Fire just came out like 2 years ago, didn't it? Like the title sounds really familiar.
2016. Yeah.
Oh, that's a while ago then.
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy, Charlton Copley, Army Hammer, the cannibal, Sam Riley. I don't know that guy. Yeah. It's just
good movie.
Good fun movie. But Ben Wheatley,
she's good in it. She's good in it.
Dude, people talk about like, the fucked up movies, the real fucked up ones. And I'm always like, dude, Martyrs, Serbian films obviously mentioned in those lists, Human Centipede, but Kill List, that one never gets mentioned. And that's one.
Kill List. I've never heard of this.
Ben Wheatley made it, the guy who did Free Fire, but it's got like, Pizzagate type undertones, and
dude, you can't say that word on YouTube.
Well, I just did multiple times. You should watch my Volcano stream that's coming out. We watch a Volcano will be released between now and tomorrow, and I start off talking about how like Anne Heche was like Hillaried out of here. Like,
well, I was gonna like use this as a platform to start other stuff, but I guess that's off the table now.
If my fucking channel gets nuked, I'll just upload all my stupid videos on Rumble. I don't care. I'm just
Kill List. It came out in 2011.
Yeah, it's hardcore and good and also understated. It's not like it's not like balls to the wall, but it'll scar you. It's one of those movies that'll like fuck you up.
I can dig it.
Martyrs,
I like a good scarring movie.
The French movie Martyrs. I don't know if you saw that one. That's probably
I did. That was dark. That was a dark movie.
I would say that's above Kill List. I'd say Kill List is right under that. And I'd say
Okay.
Serbian Film is probably number 1. That is the fucked up one. That's
I can't do too many of those like super dark, like
nah for
messed
real.
up.
Yeah,
I can't do
you
too
live that
many.
shit. Yeah,
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But
I just-
we were talking about a couple the other night too. So hey Vex, I know you got to get out of here in a
Yeah,
any
I don't
final
know.
thoughts.
Yeah.
how
Any
long
final
you plan on
thoughts?
staying?
Final thoughts. Barbie's gonna be lit.
Woo!
My
Bold
You might
statement.
be right.
I'm
Bold
really
statement.
worried that again with the bait and switches, like because we're seeing all these amazing set designs and costume designs in these trailers. I'm really hoping that it isn't like that's just the first 15 minutes, and then they go to
Yeah,
the real world,
agreed.
and then
I
it's just
I think it'll be a fun
misogyny is
time.
everywhere. It should
Right.
be as long as it's
I think
half
it'll
and
be a
half.
fun time either. It'll just have the message really pumped in there. That's my only concern. But like
Look.
I'm still looking forward to it because I just
Yeah.
like the idea.
Pump the
Right?
message into
That's all.
Barbie. Don't
Yeah.
pump the message into G.I. Joe. You know what I mean?
No,
Pump the message
no.
into Barbie. The feminist girls can do anything. I like this idea that like Ken's gonna be like an unemployed like loser who's just handsome. Basically, he's a himbo. Great.
A
That's a
himbo
great
with
plot.
a
Yeah,
himbo with no cock. Is that even possible?
I think maybe when they go on the real
It's
world,
2023. It
they get
is.
genitals.
Yeah, oh, wow.
Well,
Hey.
touche.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Touche. Well played, my friend. Well played.
I'm sorry my internet kept shitting itself.
Ah,
No,
yeah,
I'm
it's
just
fine.
glad. I'm just glad you kept coming back because I was like,
Yeah,
well, you
Like-
know,
like
if
a
you-
punch drunk fighter, she kept wading back in.
These guys
after-
are
Oh yeah, I
boring.
wasn't giving up. I'm stubborn.
These guys are boring me talking about fucking, Evil Dead, Jack Rigger, or whatever.
No, I enjoy this kind of talk,
Cool.
and if you guys do like another stream on like after every like more stuff is coming out,
Every
like
Monday is more of like, we sometimes I'll do like a topic, sometimes it's just goofing off.
yeah, Mondays are unfortunately not good for me. I think I told
Okay.
that to Dark Hour as well
Oh,
because
okay.
I already have my own show on Mondays, and then
Right. Well,
beefs
hey, if
up.
you ever, want me to pop in on Mondays, I'm down. But yes, as far as like if you ever want to come and stream about something, I can always move it around during the week,
for
I'm
sure,
not-
for sure.
I work
Thank
from home, graphic designer, so
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
free for the most part.
Mm.
All right.
Like if you
Thank
told me
you.
if you told
Oh,
me to
sorry.
pop into a stream right now, there's like a 50-50 chance I could do it. If you
Let's
told
go
me,
live.
you
Let's
told
go
me there's
live.
a stream tomorrow, I can
It's
definitely
not
move
my
stuff around.
channel. It's just I'm a co-host on a main my
yeah.
main show every Monday, right?
I'm-
So it's
yeah.
not up to me who's on there.
I'm just talking in general with anybody, like in terms
Gotcha.
of availability, I'm out there. But yes, as
Gotcha.
far as like Tuesdays, we usually watch movies on my Discord, and I'll turn those into those like edited we watch videos. And
Okay. All right.
I've been trying to just churn out as many of those as possible, one a week, and then now that we're at the halfway point of the year, I'm just gonna hopefully start working on a actual analysis video, which I've wanted to do some of those and start making some shorts and start actually trying to quote unquote grow the channel. So
Gotcha.
but yes,
Alright.
feel free to keep in touch, please. Let's stay in
For
touch.
sure.
actually.
Sure. We've got a mutual friend as well, and he said that you are an awesome guy to stream with, and he enjoys making content with you. So that was enough of a recommendation for me right there.
Appreciate you. Yes, and I know you're not on the old Zucker fuck.
No,
book,
I
right?
deleted Facebook 5 years ago now.
No worries,
Wow.
man.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Well, I'm on the Twits. I use it only basically for the advertising the YouTube channel to nobody. I'm one of those Twitters that has like 0 followers. Whatever. Just doing it so I can not have to, so I can read tweets.
Hey guys,
All right.
I'm also going to go ahead and sign out too. I'm going to take this bow out too as well because
No
I got
worries,
a long
guys.
day tomorrow.
All right.
So-
Thank you again for having me on. It was
Thank you
great
for
to
coming.
meet all of you as well. We'll collaborate again in the future, hopefully.
Yeah.
Of course.
And have a great weekend as well.
Of course.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, hopefully the things that we want to watch are good. And hopefully, in a few months, 6 months, we'll look back on this year, not in like horror, and terror.
Yeah.
Something good actually came out. We'll be able
Yeah.
to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
at least
pretty good so
fucking
far.
5 to 10 good things came out this year.
I will settle for 3 or 4 or 5. That'd be
Yeah.
fine with
Yeah.
me. I'm okay
I
with
agree.
that.
All right, guys. Well, God bless y'all. Good
All right,
talking to y'all. And
Take it easy. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate
yeah,
it.
No sign out music tonight. I'm just gonna stop streaming us. All right.
Bam!
Bye.
Just cut it off.
Out. We're out.